How's everybody doing? How you guys doing tonight? What is it? 10:44. I'm always late. I know. Fuck you. What do you want me to do about it? Very exciting. It's been quite a week, a very busy week, very contentious week of a lot of things going on. And I have a lot of stuff to cover tonight, and I do want to get to as much of it as I can. But this time, I have a rule. I'm not staying on too long. I can't. So I'm going to set a timer or something that tells me to shut the fuck up and just get out of here. But tonight's episode is about a few things, but there's a theme for it. And one of the themes is killing your idols. Not mine. Yours. We need to look at a few of these guys that some people look up to. And it's strange because a lot of this stuff has gone under the radar, and I think a lot of people are afraid to even bring it up. In particular, Sam Hyde is one of the guys. Sam Hyde is a guy that, very funny guy. And I think that's why a lot of this stuff has been ignored, because of that fact, because he's a very funny guy. But there's some creepy shit going on with that guy. But before we start, let's pray that everything goes right tonight. So I just want to do this first. Let me see. Put this here. Okay. We're going to do our Jake Paul ritual just to make sure everything goes okay. Because he says when he does this, every time he does this, he wins his boxing match except for one. So I just want to make sure that everything goes right, because I'm afraid things go wrong here a lot. So everybody join in. This is we're gonna do some breath work, and we're gonna be okay.
Breath work session, which is a ritual we've done for every fight. We basically charge up with our breath, and it's like a deep, long meditation. The first session I ever did, it's so powerful. I started crying, I started laughing.
And we're using a breathwork technique to go into a non-ordinary state.
It just brings up so many emotions, so many thoughts. Maybe there's some weird spiritual higher powers controlling this career.
And now we're all gonna try and make a sound.
Interdimensional midwives giving birth to our true selves.
I love you guys!
I love you guys!
People will probably be like, what are they doing? But I think they won't be saying that after Sunday night.
Okay. Please do not disturb. Yeah, that's some creepy shit. Let's see if that actually worked though, because I think something already fucked up where it wasn't changing my camera view. It was Jake Paul, you fucking failed me. You fucking loser. Okay, no, that one works. Oh, I guess it's just the one that goes in here. Zooms in here. Let's go. Let's fix it right now. It ruined one of my presets. Fuck you, Jake Paul. Look, I did your ritual. It doesn't even work. That's probably why you lost your boxing match, you fucking loser. Fighting 80-year-old men. Jake Paul fighting Mike Tyson. How many old men are you gonna beat up, dude? I mean, at what point do you just fucking give up? That's gonna be another theme for tonight, by the way. Okay, let's see. Whee! Did it fix it? Whee! Yeah, cool. Okay, it's working. So let's just get right into a couple of things here. There is a thing I want to do at the end, which would be pretty crazy. So my idea is like, a lot of these subjects have so much information to them that it would take hours to go through all of it. So the problem is, I think it was, hey, what I should do is maybe give a little bit of a framing of what it is, and then I'm going to drop you guys a link for each of these things that's just going to let you go and discover the whole rabbit hole if you want to. But I'm going to give you the surface level stuff and then let you decide if you want to go deeper into it. But pretty much when you see like a lot of the main things, it's pretty creepy. So Mr. Sam Hyde is allegedly a child predator. Okay, so we have all these channels. This past week has been kind of crazy. So I don't know if you guys know, this channel started with a couple of videos before this show where it was me and Mark Harley, and the whole purpose of it was for me and Mark to go after this guy named Jimmernam, otherwise known as Morbid, otherwise known as T-Fact. He ran the Fighter and the Kid channel, one of them. It had 30,000 subs, but you know, he's buying them. Everyone's buying subs today. I ain't buying mine. All of my subs, real, no Asian market, black market shit, okay? It's all real. But he bought a lot of his. And this is a guy who's been doing it for so long, for years and years now. He joins a community, he grifts it, gets kicked out of it. And yeah, there's a community of people who have been going after them. 2 of them were his ex-girlfriends. And now, currently, one of them is hell-bent on just taking this guy down after all those streams that happened where, you know, I had Mark Harley on and there was the epic intro with all the information, and then Mark and I for like 6 hours just discussed everything about this guy. We were looking into his eBay store. He sells used little toys with porn. Lots of crazy shit. You want to go check that out, go watch the Mark Harley Exposes T-Fact video. It's at like 10,000 views now. Pretty good. Thank you guys, actually, for whoever tuned into that one. It's a pretty funny episode. Yeah, but that's how it started. And so now there's this crazy back and forth where the ex-girlfriend of Jimmernam streams every single night for literally 20 hours a night. I don't know when she actually sleeps. So it's not humanly possible. Like, she will go live for a 10-hour stream, then come back on like an hour or two later, 6 hours. Like within the last 3 days, I think she's done 60 hours of streaming. And if you do the math, it's not even possible to live. So I'm convinced maybe there's more than one of them. I don't know, maybe she's cloning herself at this point. So this whole thing brought a lot of contention. And it's this argument of now, has she gone too far? Has she become the monster that she's going after? And a lot of people say this is a very righteous cause and it's all about that. But it started to get into weird territory where it really wasn't about that anymore. Suddenly rules are out the window and it seemed like it was more about revenge. And if you want to delve deeper into this story of why she decided to be attacking him, you can do your research for yourself. But she was embarrassed on the internet because of this guy. And this is her way of getting back at him, but it's gone too far. And people shared alternate opinions, and it is not allowed. You're not allowed to have your own opinion. If you are, you're kicked out. It's like North Korea, which is very fitting if you know who Jimmernam is. And you get the boot quick, within 1 millisecond. Banned, gone. Okay? And so then that brings me to this thing. It's like, okay, who is Jimmernam? Nobody gives a fuck. But guess who is a guy that somebody gives a fuck? Let's see. Who's a guy that actually has influence, is a pretty big creator, and he also is this guy, Sam Hyde, with what is allegedly a minor. So that's just a picture to get you warmed up for this, and you can make your own conclusions on all of this stuff. This is all alleged, okay? I'm not I'm insinuating stuff, yeah, for sure. But I just want you guys to know this is a weird controversy that has kind of gone under the rug, and then people keep trying to bring it up, and then it gets swept away again. So I want to make sure I give you guys the information because it is very hard to understand what's going on with this guy. And there's people who idolize this guy. They imitate him. They use his bits. They try to be like him, whether it's the style of a rap song they do, or want to lift weights like Sam Hyde. I want to be the Sam Hyde type of humor, right? So it's very creepy, very, very creepy stuff. This guy's, this girl's name, I believe, is Maddie or Matty, something like that. And apparently anytime she's brought up, it just doesn't get mentioned at all. But let me see. What else do I have here? I'll open up a new window here. Guys, this is a lot of shit. When I started looking into it, I was like, oh no, this is just probably bullshit. And then somebody from lots of research, I found a data dump. That's how crazy this is. A legit data dump of all of the stuff that he's been up to. And he kind of tried to write it off as like, nah, man, this is some trans person worked for me that went crazy and then made up all these lies, right? But when you look further into it, you find that it's not only one woman, it's multiple women. They're all allegedly underage girls that he would find that are vulnerable, that are into Sam Hyde content, and he would groom them basically to become his slave. And he has weird kinks. And it's funny because he's supposed to be the alpha, alt-right alpha male, right? The alpha male, Sam Hyde. Everybody loves him. He's such a badass. It's so funny. And that's the thing, this culture of that surrounds this is always like, based, man, based. So it's almost like, I even feel some of these people, if they find out the truth of this, they'd be like, that's based, man. It's a young girl. Awesome. Awesome, man. What a based, man. I need a virgin, man, like that. Sam Hyde's my hero. But let's look back. I'm gonna go deeper. So this is just the beginning of it. Hold on. I'm zooming like a motherfucking retard. Holy shit. Yeah, this one. This one here. Ooh. This gets bad. This gets bad, guys. Let me see. Okay, so this is what I first found, and I was like, okay, it's kind of a collage. It's nothing too crazy. But then when you go and you read into all this, you're like, okay, anybody could fake this stuff and everything. So you see here, it says Sam Hyde at the top. Let me zoom in so you can get a better look. It says, Sam Hyde, I'm going to be real hard on you tomorrow. She says, for being obnoxious? No, just 'cause it's time. Time to start using you the way I really want to. Time? Oh, Sam. Don't worry. I think you'll like it too. I will do just about anything for you, whether I like it or not. Sorry, I got to pull the chat down here, guys. 1 second. Thank you for being here, everybody, by the way. I will do just about anything for you, whether I like it or not. Good to hear. Oh, yeah? Don't eat anything between now and tomorrow, sweetie. Do I need to explain what that means? Oh, dude, when you get into that fucking kind of sexual gratification, don't eat anything tomorrow, because I want your shit in my mouth. Like, would you be my secretary and do things I tell you to do? Like work things? Would you let me tell you to stop talking if I think you're talking too much? Yitis? Yes. Would you spend an hour or two curled up at my feet? That's what I want. It's kind of cut off. See, I was kind of confused. A lot of stuff's cut off. Of course. If we live together, would you let me cheat on you once in a while? Like, what the fuck, Sam? That's crazy. And by the way, reminder, this is the girl he's speaking to. And very contentious of whether this girl was 18 or 17 or 16. And then there's this like big copium where they claimed Sam thought that he could avoid any sort of problems because he crossed state lines to meet this girl in a state where the age of consent was lower, which I believe was 16. But actually the law says that if you cross state lines to have arranged sexual relations with a minor, you're still breaking the law. That's like a major no-no. You can't do that. And so, yeah, all this stuff was very hard to read. But there's a lot of it. And this is just one girl. By the way, notice her face. Like, why is her face just busted up? And there's just like a bone. I don't know what. I'm just going to pretend that's not anything gruesome there. But her face is all beaten up. This is a very dark corner of the internet if you really think about what goes on behind this whole universe of anti-content, right? Let's see. I got another one here. I mean, shit, it goes on. Here's another one. This is another woman here. Sam Hyde's sexual past. Another woman. Hi. He would have them prove that they were real people, like here. Hi, I am 421 2018, 2010, giving their birthday, Charlotte, 3 a.m. You are getting everything mixed up. My Tumblr is not a reliable source. So he was like vetting them very, 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 very carefully. I don't know what's happening here. There's always some sort of like cutting and blood involved. Really creepy stuff. It's like, so hey guys, if you're truly righteous and it's all about stopping these guys, well, why are you focusing on a guy who gets like fucking 20 viewers, right? You know, why aren't you focusing on a guy who actually has implications on the world and culture and comedy and a lot of things, and has a huge fan base, a fringe fan base? But yeah, I'm not going to read all of these messages, but you kind of get the point here. There is one thread where Sam tries to explain himself, and it's a very weird story. Let me pull this up here. Like, and this is how he kind of gets away with this stuff, because he does things in a funny way. He says, Sam here. So this is the person he claims leaked the information about the first girl, Maddie, that we saw. He says, this kid's name is Gammon Favreau. Like John Favreau, I guess. When he was probably 14 or 15, he was an MDE fan and sent us a bunch of music when we used in college cunts. He was a best friend with a mutual friend who I shall call Q-Man. We'll get to that in a moment. A few years ago, he went full SJW and decided he hated our videos. He did a bunch of research chemicals and realized he no longer identifies as a male, and spent a few... let me see, is it cutting off? Oh, it's just on the screen share that it's cutting off. Let me move it over. A few nights in a Florida mental hospital. Here, sorry guys. It just fucking... The Jake Paul ritual doesn't work, by the way, so don't bother doing that. Yeah, he spent a few nights in a Florida mental hospital. The weird Twitter anti-gay stand-up act is a major bone of contention, and I suspect new Shemale Gammon hates who he used to be and therefore also hates who he used to associate with. I believe this is all directly linked to playing World of Warcraft. You see, like, this is Sam's style to make everything a bit, right? He says, now he posts mean things about me online, and once every 6 months or so, I'll get a message from a fake female Facebook account trying to set me up in some sort of sexual shaming sting operation, which is just Gammon trying to get me to send pics or say something embarrassing. I can usually tell within the first couple messages that it's a psychotic gay man on the other end of the line and not a hot cutie, smile face. You see he's being very facetious and everything. Anyway, I try not to let feminists and SJWs invade my personal life and the headspace. I wouldn't have posted anything if it weren't for Q-Man, so let me tell you a little bit more about that. Q-Man was a cool kid who was in a similar boat but trying to actively turn things around, like a fucked up modern male type kid who was trying to better himself and learn about the real world instead of whining about shit online and being a freak. We had him lifting weights, and we're always pushing him to work harder and be more consistent with music output, etc. Not to mention, he was way more talented than Gammon musically. So he's playing the two against each other here. Very good tactic. Q-Man came to my house to stay for a week and worked on music, a little bit of editing for beer school, yet to be released, and we lifted weights like men, not trannies. Then toward the end of his stay, he showed me his Steam chat log with Gammon. What I saw chilled me to the bone. There were 3 full college rule pages with no reply. All shit from Gammon saying that Q-Man had to spy on me and that if he didn't take part in some twisted espionage game that he would be considered one of the enemy. You need to go on his computer. If you don't do this, then we can no longer be allies. Bizarre and frightening shit from his supposedly best friend. Very sane and normal stuff. Healthy. Gave me a feeling of justice almost. Q-Man's dead now. I'm not going to get into details out of respect, also because my understanding is clouded by soul-consuming rage. But he died of a drug overdose, and it's Gammon's fault. So no, he's not an active and supportive participant of the MDE collective. He's an actual schizophrenic who should be medicated and not anywhere near a computer. I was bent out of shape over this for a while, thought maybe the answer was driving to his house and hitting him in the spine with a pipe. But then I realized he was a bug and not an actual human being. See all the humor here. If you decide you want to interact, just keep in mind has nothing to live for besides internet drama, so you'll probably be helping a piece. So this is his response here, and if everybody who is a fan of MDE read this, they go, yeah, that seems like Sam is telling the truth here. This is probably just some disgruntled fan. But I already had showed you multiple... Hold on, why is my camera so fucking orange? Multiple girls, first of all. And so this is where most people stop and they go, oh, it's all bullshit. Sam proved everything is all a lie. But then I found a data dump. Let me pull this back over here for a second and go into my bookmarks. Sam Hyde expose. Let's see, is it this one? Oh yeah. So I want to give you guys this link so you can look at this shit, guys. Like, this is crazy. Look at this. Sam Hyde, one team, Big Flame, Joey, cancellation. And it basically goes through this whole story. You can copy this link down here, guys, at the top. Let me see. Let me make sure you can see it. Yeah, there we go. Wait, Jesus Christ. There we go. sh1teamcancel.com/2021/10/31/1. Shit team cancel with a 1. Yeah. Copy this link down, guys, if you want to do research on this after. But holy shit. So you remember in the story that Sam's response, he talks about how he found information on a guy's computer and that the guy was spying on him. And these people go through this whole story and they have the receipts of everything, to the point of even pointing out that Sam was asking one of the guys to help him. What's the best way to destroy hard drives? And then the guy thought nothing of him. He's like, that's kind of weird. Like, why would you be asking that, man? And then the next day he saw Sam. He found a bunch of hard drives in the back of a truck shattered into pieces, which is very crazy. But this thing is so long, guys. This is like a legit, like, Licky Weeks type shit. And I didn't see a lot of people posting this link, because if you go on Reddit and you try to find, like, hey, what's this all about? You'll mostly be met with the things I first showed you and then Sam's response. But this is an epic takedown of everybody that's in his group, whoever he associates with. By the way, Sam and Weave. There you go. I mean, if that's not... Yeah, the whole Daily Stormer thing where he pledged $5,000 to white nationalist thing. Some people say that was a troll for marketing. Here with Richard Spencer. None of that matters to me, but yeah, Nick Fuentes. And they got the videos on here and everything.
Be safe. Have a good stream, man.
You
All right,
too,
brother.
buddy. Hey, good luck.
Wait, let's see. Wait.
Heck out loud, KOL.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, hey, save Evropa and fuck it, MAGA.
Let's go. All right, MAGA, baby. Well, hey,
Save
thanks for
Europa.
calling in. Good to hear from you. Be safe.
Have a good stream, man.
You
All right,
too,
brother.
buddy. Hey, good luck.
See, it's a weird thing about this whole super alt-right end of the internet. But the way Sam Hyde attacks it specifically, it's always using humor. It's almost like Sam Hyde developed his sense of humor specifically to share his political views, but never be called out on being serious, because he can always mold it into some meta irony, post-irony, whatever the fuck they call it, the nerdy term for what version of irony he's using. He'd be like, no, I'm not actually racist. These are all jokes. And it's like, wait a minute, Sam, a lot of your jokes incorporate very, very dark history usually from documentaries that you won't find on Netflix, okay? That's all I'll say. But that stuff doesn't bother me, or everyone's entitled to their political opinion. I don't give a shit about that. Did I accidentally just close the window? But yeah, this link here brings you all the way. Fucking nags. I kind of just wanted to show you the thing where they show the hard drive thing. Let me see if I can find it. This thing is really long. Very, very fucking long. And I read probably, I don't know, maybe 60% of it. Let's see if I can get to it. Look, see here, same thing with the girl. And they give you higher quality versions of the photos and everything. He wanted girls to stomp on his balls. And so, okay, Marky. Her name's Marky. Okay, here we go. So they claim this is Marky. Allegedly underage. He crossed state lines to have sex with her. She's a minor, allegedly. And he does this skit about this girl, Marky, in a joking sense.
Much rather Ross.
I don't know why all the videos are starting at the end. Jake Paul, fuck you.
Pussy gets. When you got a citizen watch, you're wearing full Ross. Trust me, bro. Yeah, I remember. She was a tight little piece. Okay? I remember that girl. Very fresh, milkmaid skin, big milky jugs. She didn't know what to do with them. She was. Ooh-wee. She was a prude, though. She wouldn't do anything, except one day I rolled up wearing a citizen watch, full Ross, and I think you know what happened next. Fucking took the anus, bro. Anus. Told her not to eat anything, but she still ate something, and there was a turd in her ass, and totally turned me off forever.
You see, you heard that, right? He's incorporating it into the bit. He said, I told her not to eat, but she still ate something, and that was exactly his conversation. Oh yeah, don't eat anything between now and tomorrow, sweetie. The worlds are starting to collide here between irony and real life. Very, very weird. By the way, guys tuned in, we are talking about Sam Hyde, not Sam Hill. Very righteous Sam Hill. Yes, people, my name's Sam. Sam Hill. This is Sam Hyde, Sam Hill. I want to get into Sam Hill a bit later. By the way, if anyone has ever seen Sam Hill and Mr. Van Driesen in the same place, please get in touch with me, because I don't believe that has ever happened. And if you guys know who Mr. Van Driesen is, you'll understand. But you probably won't know who Sam Hill is. But if you do, no, this is not Sam Hill, guys. This is Sam Hyde. I know, it's getting them confused.
Redheads. And I like girls with like skinny legs and the gap in the thighs where it's the pelvic bone is wide, but they're not fat. So there's like this gap in the thighs. You can see the camel toe. And I like tiny, tiny little tits. And I've just told that to some people, and they're like, you're a pedophile. And so I'm just like, oof. Nah.
Yikes.
If they have big milky tits, if they're already blowing in middle school, they're already giving head, they're fucking, then how is that pedophilia? Is that a child? If she's like grabbing your cock and riding you and doing this voluntarily, it's not because you're making her do it. Is that still a child that you're fucking, or is that a fucking straight up hoe? I don't know.
There you go, guys. So if you're so righteous, here you go. Here's a target for you to go after if you're such big badasses who only care about saving the children. And there's multiple women in here. It goes through. Let me see if I can get to the exchanges. Dude, this is crazy. Whoever compiled this, when there's this much information about something, there's no way it's bullshit. It has to be real. You can't compile all this fucking shit. This would be a grand conspiracy. Anything bigger than Sam Hyde is attributed to the Jews, by the way, if this was fake. Look at this. Below are links on larger info dump on Sam. So guys, copy this link too. Here, archive.is/3_s, or yeah, is that the right word? 3 underscore? No, that's the line. Why am I retarded? Lower s, smaller s. I'm brain farting. Capital T, lowercase a, C. Jake Paul fucked me over. Don't do that ritual, guys. It doesn't work. Never mind. 3, lowercase s, capital T, lowercase a, J. And then this is going to take you to the dark web and steal all your information. And then Sam Hyde's going to show up at your door and kill you. But look at this. Look at this. This is like a fucking FBI document. Holy shit. Holy shit. I think it's in here, actually. Yes, it's in here. It's in here. I just want to find this part, and then we're going to move on. I just want to find this part. So Sam, this story is pretty creepy. It basically goes through a story about how Sam he puts a keylogger on one of the computers of one of his employees, right? Because he suspects that maybe they're spying on him or talking shit about him. And so he keylogs their computer, and he has all of their conversations, right? And he finds out that they were talking shit about him. He prints out all of the messages and doesn't tell them. And then the next day he calls a meeting, which is very, very weird, because he goes, hey, you guys want to go out for coffee? I'll take you out for a coffee or lunch or something. And that's something he never does. And so they were kind of on edge, like, what's going on? And it was a scene straight out of a movie, the way it was explained here, where it was Sam, these people, and then one of his goons in the back seat. And then they noticed that they started going off the trail, and they're like, wait a minute, where are we going, type shit. You know that scene in Sopranos where Christopher's wife or fiance is with Silvio? Yeah, Silvio Dante. And he's like, yeah, we're just taking Christopher tried to kill himself. He's at the hospital. We're going to go over there. We're going to see him. It's going to be all right. And then they start veering off the path, and she starts realizing and crying, we're not going to the hospital. Fuck. And Silvio's got that little smirk on his face. Get out of the car, you fucking cunt. You know? It's like that. So he tells, that's the story they're telling here. And it's very, very creepy. See right here. In June, when Shannon and I started talking shit about him, he went on the computer she was using and used a hardware keylogger on it. I owned the computer, very illegal, and he saw our conversations. He stayed up all night, got really sick for a while because of it. The next day, he invited me down so he could take Channing and me out to brunch, which was a lie. Did I tell you about the truck ride? Yeah. The next day, after he spent all night poring over her G-chat conversations, I went down there for brunch. Cam was on the front step with his head down, looking at his phone, acting really weird, and then Sam came down, also acting weird. Immediately, he asked if I wanted to go shoot some stuff, like do videos. I went and talked to Shannon for a minute because we both suspected he read our conversations. He would never invite us to eat out somewhere, so he could be apologize. It was just too weird. Anyway, the important part is I went on a ride with him in his truck, and he brought Cameron and John Pellich. So if you guys are MD fans, you will maybe recognize these names. He made some weird comments about Channing on the way there. We knew something was up. He was going a weird way. I hadn't been. Just to get coffee. I'm in his truck. Haven't been told what's going on. He's being weird, driving somewhere I don't know, and he's got 2 goons in the back seat. And he's like, Cam was also hanging outside on the bench as if he was on patrol. Like, Sam's running this fucking tight ship. So he pulls into an empty lot behind some brick building where nobody is around and pulls out printed out transcripts of her chats with me and Zach. He read back highlighted parts of our conversation verse, just nasty shit I've said about him to her in private. Then said something like, I'm not mad at you and here's why. This is creepy. After he was done reading all the chat stuff, he tried to show me her nudes, the guy's girlfriend's nudes, that he took off her hard drive, which he now had on his phone, and tried to tell me about, and this is censored out. I don't know why. But again, I thought it wasn't recent enough to be a big deal. So he basically blackmailed them saying, all this shit talking, I'm not mad at you because I have porn of you on my phone, and if I can release it at any time. Blackmailing them. Basically, all alleged. But yeah, decide for yourself. She said, I didn't look at it, blah, blah, blah. See, I wonder if he actually did wipe all his sex tapes and pics of girls and other degenerate shit and from his phone storage, or if he's too narcissistic and attached to them to do that. Wow. So then he goes, so we drove halfway there, stopped for his obligatory Chipotle refill, and then he decided we didn't have to go after all. He said, yeah, makes sense. He was really concerned about me deleting my texts. Didn't get all of them saved, but I got a good amount saved. Okay. There was a whole part of this where he was withholding checks and having them delete all of the bad stuff they ever wrote about Sam off of their computers. And then once he could verify that it was all gone, he would give them their checks. We're talking like $10,000 check here, you see. They even have the photos of the fucking checks, guys. Look, Channing, $9,000. Channing, $10,000. Like, they got receipts on all this shit. There we go. Also, that same day, he asked me what the best way to destroy a hard drive was. And then the next time I went down there, I found bits of broken hard drive in the bed of his truck. That's fucking creepy. So nothing May 28-ish to them, but I'm glad by that point he already fucked me over, so I wasn't as naive reconnecting with him, and he was basically playing dumb, trying to see how much he had lied to me by the point. And this goes on and on and on and on and on. Let me zoom back out a little bit. Wait. Okay, it keeps going. Look how long this goes, guys. So we could be here for 3 hours, 4 hours, who knows? But it has everything. It's got everything. Look. Oh my God. How long does this go on for? Look at this. You can't make all this shit up. You can't make all this shit up. So, yeah, Sam Hyde fans out there, your hero is... And he... So, just letting you know, that's one of your heroes. So what do you guys think about all that stuff? Because it's funny because he has never really addressed this other than that weird message that he wrote where he's just kind of, it was a disgruntled tranny. And he was a psycho who went to a mental ward. But it's like, then what are all these other women and all this shit? You can't make all this shit up. You cannot. It's not possible. It's clear that this guy had a weird fetish with very, very young women, some of them allegedly underage, and he would like them to not eat so there was no shit in their ass and all that stuff. Yeah. Static says Hyde is a gross chomo. You know who says I feel dirty. Unbleached, no hero of mine. 23 Butandion, my hero. Yeah, see, a lot of people are like, that's based, bro. Yeah. Yeah. Those under kids. That's most based. Saying I love Hitler and all this stuff. Anti-Jew, anti-Semitic stuff. No. Fucking kids. Now that's based. Hell yeah, bro. Oh, bro. Hell yeah, brother. Kumia vibes, right? Another hero of people's. The O&A fans, they love Anthony Cumia. But yeah, he be doing that. Kids too. Oh boy. Happy St. Patrick's Day. It's St. Patrick's Day. I don't even know. I don't even know anymore. I don't know what day it is anymore. Yeah, but that was Sam Hyde, to be clear, not Sam Hill. Totally two different people. We'll talk about Sam Hill a little bit later. Wabiska, bro, all people have to do is search up Sam Hyde forum and it's all there. I don't care what anyone's kinks are as long as they don't involve children. But yeah, so these involve children. That's what I'm telling you. One of the girls, actually two, but one they confirmed was underage and he crossed state lines to go rent a hotel or an Airbnb to go see her and have sex with her. Which is still illegal. Even if you live in a state and you go to another state to hook up with a girl where the consent age is lower, you're still with an underage child and it's still against the law. You can't do that. You can't find loopholes like, nah, man, I drove over the state line. You would have to live in that state. You'd have to live there, have a residence there. From my research, you cannot cross state lines to just be with a young girl. And a lot of them he would groom and be like, wait till you're 18. Like there was guys baiting him, I guess, some, but real women, he would be like, how old are you? And then they go, oh my God, because they're such huge Sam Hyde fans. And then they go, 16. And he'd go, oh, I'll be right back. My phone broke or something. But then he couldn't help himself. He would get reeled back in every case. So if you go through all this shit, you'll find it. So rewind this episode back later if you missed the links to all the data dumps. Because when you go on the Reddit and stuff, you don't find this right away. You really don't. Hey, Chris is here. Thank you for unbanning me, Lossless. You were never banned, Chris. You were never banned. But I think we did discover what the issue was, and I'm glad we did. So I'm happy to have you here. Gormvok, what the fuck? Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Kister using Cognito, people. Yeah. Now, in fairness, these links that I'm sending you to, there is nothing illegal on them. It's all just evidence and receipts, and they're not posting the crazy shit that you'd probably have to find in another rabbit hole. So these links are totally safe. You can go through them and read them for yourself. If you are a Sam Hyde fan, and if this information being true would change your mind on him, I would suggest you read it. If not, that's fine. If you think it's cool to, do that to children, all right. And it's a weird thing. It's like, damn, some people be like, the guy makes good content. He's funny. That's how they get away with it. This is a common theme we're seeing here. Okay, let me catch up on chat here. Static-O-Matic, how is age of consent not a national law? Yeah, it is very weird how there is a different age in every state. But yeah, you just can't be traveling to other states. Be like, don't worry, babe. Like some people even think, if a girl's in Canada, some places in Canada, the age of consent is 16, which blows my fucking mind. Like knowing with kids how close 16 is imagining a 30-year-old man taking advantage of a 16-year-old, that's fucking disgusting. It's vile. It's vile. The dude should be in jail. Kissed her. My kink is shopping at the dollar store. Yeah. I was never... I don't know. I think the archetype of a Sam Hyde, kind of a goofy guy. If you look at old photos of Sam Hyde versus what he is now, I'd say he looks worse now. Honestly. Like, yeah, he was a goofy dude. But, I mean, now he's like super roided up. And he's got some weird fucking look to him. Let me see. Sam Hyde, young. Get a... Let me see, what's a good one here? Let me just bring this whole thing over there. Let's take a look at some of these. A young Sam Hyde. And then he clearly went on some roids and stuff. This is from his TED Talk. This is how a lot of people found out about him, where he did his fake TED Talk and he fooled the audience for so long. And that was a really good bit. It went over well. He's a smart guy. That's what's kind of sad about it. And does have a lot of funny content. This isn't young. It's younger Sam Hyde, but it's not the youngest you can find. But wait. Sam Hyde. Roids. Maybe that'll work. Yeah, there you go. Some of these are altered, obviously. There's like this weird picture of Sam Hyde. I don't know if they did as a joke, because I do notice it in some other photos where, like, hold on, guys, be right back with the chat. It shows this weird surgery mark under his little titties. Like here, you can kind of still see it. So I was like, maybe as a joke and an edit, but in other pictures, you do see something going on here. You see this? This line here. And then there's one where it's super evident. It's basically the one I used in the thumbnail. So I have to find it again. Hey, Kista! Thank you for gifting 1 membership. Life of Riley. Let's see who wins that one. Gorm Vok. There you go. Gorm Vok was gifted a membership. Thank you to Kister. Congrats to Gorm Vok there. Ron Ronson, super rated. LMAO. Those are meme pics. Yo, this guy research is very surface. No, they aren't, dude. This is not a meme pic. I said that in the beginning. Some of these are. This is not. He's making a stupid face. But that is him. You can go to his fucking Instagram. It's, what is it? Sam Hyde SNL. Instagram.com. How do you do I fucking hate Instagram. Don't really use it. SNL. Here we go. Let's look at it. I mean, I know which ones are obviously fake. Come on now, guy. Like, this one is a real picture, but they fucked up his face and made it look all red. This is a real photo, though. Like, his face does contort like this, but they just put the brightness and contrast up to make it look weirder. There it is. I want to try to find... All right, this one right here. So this is one I was like, okay... He doesn't have a tattoo here, right? So that's what's weird. I know that's fake. What the fuck? Looks like he got tit surgery. Maybe he got his tits removed there, guy. This could be a fake, a temporary tattoo. But yeah, no, that one seems altered. That's what I'm saying. I saw that. I was like, oh, it's altered. And then in some of the other ones, you see weird stuff. Like, this one's not altered. You're saying this is a fake photo? What's going on right here? You're saying this is a meme photo. This is not Sam Hyde. Like, what happened here? And he says, you Photoshop your scars? See, people are like, what's going on here? Breast reduction scar is really healing. Great to see your transition is coming along. Yeah. You never know. You're living in a world of meta-post, ironic irony, double level irony. But yeah, you get the idea. I've noticed it in a couple of them. It's pretty weird. So there you go. There's your hero, Sam Hyde. All of our heroes disappoint us. They all disappoint us. Yeah, that line looks real to me, says Naklo. Yeah. Something weird is going on there. Top surgery to remove male breast. Yeah, maybe he did roids and he got huge and really built, but he still always had man tits and was super insecure about it. And so he was like, hey, doc, can you just remove my tits? So yeah, he kind of did a transition. White Groiper, I hate fish tank. Yeah, here's my thinking on it. The first fish tank was awful. It's poorly put together. They didn't have like a high quality version of it. Even the episodes after were not that great. Season 2, production wise, much higher quality. I've started seeing, I think, some of the actual filmed episodes, or I saw the trailer of it. Much higher quality as far as like the TV show version of it. The show, though, is mostly just guys that are all autistic, just sitting around in a house. But nothing interesting. Every time you would tune in, it would be just guys sitting around. We donated another cigarette to you. You have to smoke 30 cigarettes in a row. There's some funny moments where one of the guys went crazy and he thought that there was a clue in the wall because they were telling him that there's clues around the house that could help you. And the guy kept thinking that he heard a noise in the wall, and then somebody sent in a fake voice TTS donation that sounded like Jet Neptune, the fucking moon face. That guy's face, I cannot stand that guy's face. When I see that guy's face, it angers me. They have AI voices, so they set this whole thing up like a video game, and that's the impressive part for me. They programmed the whole website to look like you're playing kind of an RPG game where you can collect items, you gain experience points, and then you can use those experience points and you earn them either by buying. It's a whole grift, guys. It's a grift, obfuscated as a irony. Again, everything is always obfuscated with irony. So whoever programmed the site, very talented. It's very cool concept. While you were in the chat, you're active in the chat, you're earning points. If you hit a stupid logo on the site, there's like a little Easter egg where you can earn points. Or you just pay money to buy points, pay to win, basically. And what you could do is then purchase. It's not just like a list, cheap, corny list. Like they actually had an interface where it looks like you're playing a video game and you have an inventory and you could buy like deliver cigarette to a contestant. I don't know, there's a bunch of them. There was one that was $20,000, spend a night in the fish tank house. I was like, there's no way anyone was going to spend 20 grand to go spend a night in a house with a bunch of autists. But they claim somebody actually paid the money. I don't know. I think maybe it was kind of like a marketing stunt. I don't think it was like this girl too, and she didn't look like the type that would ever spend that kind of money to be in that place. And I don't know why you would want to be in there. But as for the content itself, it was just, I don't know. Every time you tuned in, they were always sitting on a couch somewhere doing something stupid. Another cool moment I caught was Sam having a boxing match with one of the guys in there, and he's just beating the fucking shit out of the guy. He doesn't hold back at all. And then he's like, you did a good job, man, because the guy kept wanting to fight Sam, and he was like half his size. So that was pretty funny. All right, let's move on. You get the point. Let's go to Redbar. People love the Redbar stuff. Let's get that out of the way. I want to talk about this weird stuff with Redbar lately. So I didn't watch this episode, but I saw clips of it, and It was the one that just aired. Let's see. And it's about Redbar acknowledging that Bobby Lee and Whitney Cummings have recognized them. And they're not the only ones. I have another clip here too. Shout out to Focus CDS, by the way, because I saw it on his Instagram and I pulled it. But here you go. This is Redbar discussing. He said that it was live and someone caught it, but it hadn't been uploaded yet, so he got it early. But I think someone just recorded the live. I don't think he had some early access to it.
But it's a video featuring
Let's watch
Whitney Cummings and Bobby Lee from Ricky Stanicki. And Bobby Lee and Whitney Cummings are going to talk a little Redbar in this great video. Now, the only problem is this is recorded on his iPhone here, so I'm going to have to do a zoom in right here in the middle. But are you guys ready to see Bobby Lee and Whitney talk about the wonderful and powerful Redbar?
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait.
Okay, I think I could just play it like this. Will that work?
No, I think that I'll be honest with you, we've had it good.
Yeah.
From East Coast to West Coast.
Yeah.
The system that we have. And I just think that when something's successful, people need to put us in check.
I think I agree. And I think that it's like when someone's like, oh, Redbar said something mean about you. I'm like, me? Like, I'm in the rotation in some way? Like, you don't get to
Do you hear this? So they're talking about, and I guess, he was watching live. We're still waiting for the published video to come out. I guess there was maybe 5 minutes more of this before he started recording. They had mentioned Redbar before this. He starts recording, and this is what we got. So she's sitting here saying, and it's a shame. Can I move this? Oh, yes, I can. That'll make things easier. She's sitting here saying something about Redbar. Listen to this.
Yeah, it's like when someone's like, oh, Redbar said something mean about you. I'm like, someone that talks about comedy for a living mentioned me? Like, I'm in the rotation in some way? Like, you don't get to decide how people talk about you.
Do you follow him?
I do.
I do too.
I do.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
so.
there's some.
First of all, wow, Whitney follows him. Not that surprising considering Whitney's sister is a fan of Redbar, like a hardcore fan. And this is I don't even have this video, but you guys can find it if you care. There's a weird moment where a Redbar fan found Whitney Cummings somehow. He was probably fucking stalking her, honestly. And he went up to her and she was at a clinic or something, or maybe getting her baby certificate for her child. And he goes up to her and he goes, Whitney, you gotta, for Redbar, man, you gotta film a little skit with me. It wasn't natural. It wasn't organic. It was, okay, what you're gonna do is you're gonna come out from behind a brick wall and you're gonna look at the camera and go, Redbar's watching, and then just walk off. And if nobody said anything, he'd be like, oh, that's pretty cool. But no, Mike is so weird. He then plays the alternate clip that the guy sent where he's actually telling Whitney Cummings to set this whole bit up just so he could narcissistically hear what she says about him when she thinks she's not being recorded. And of course, what do we do? Pry. We gotta pry. Secret record you. We're gonna secret record you. So, secret record you. He plays that, and it's basically the guy who now has asked Whitney Cummings to do a favor and do the skit, puts the phone on his side and continues recording without telling her into the building and starts asking her like, oh, so what do you think about Redbar? And she's like, yeah, he can, I think he's interesting. And she's kind of like walking on eggshells trying to describe him. And that's very, very weird for Mike to do, because it's like, why would you want to hear that this moment was fabricated? You celebrated it, and now you're just telling us it's fake and forced. But anyway, okay, so then Bobby Lee chimes in on here.
Something important about him.
What the fuck?
There's something important about him. Would you like to elaborate on what that is? He doesn't, but let's look at Redbar's excitement.
I mean, there's something important.
The guy who
about
hates
him.
comedians, by the way.
What the fuck? Guys,
Oh
I'm
my
in
God!
the films. Bobby Lee asked Whitney, do you follow Redbar? She goes, yeah. He goes, so do I.
Now he's going to
I think-
repeat what was just said.
I think that he's.
I think so.
I mean, there's something important about him.
What the fuck? Guys, I'm
Oh my
in
God,
the films.
we were
Bobby Lee
recognized.
asked Whitney, do you follow Redbar? She goes, yeah. He goes, so do I. I think there's something very important about him. Is the chat going nuts? I can't see the chat because I'm
Is
on
the
a
chat
Zoom
going
here.
nuts, guys? Are you going nuts?
So they're talking Redbar.
Let's see, is
He
the chat
follows
going
Redbar
nuts?
because I'm very important to
Very
him.
important.
Okay, let's
Very
hear some
important.
more.
That's the reason.
Successful.
Yeah.
People need to put us in check.
I think I agree, and I think that yeah, it's like when someone's like, "Oh, Redbar said something mean about you." I'm like, someone that talks about comedy for a living mentioned me. Like I'm in the rotation in some way. Like you don't get to decide how people talk about
Do
you.
you follow him?
I do.
I do too.
I do.
Yeah. I think
do.
that he's.
I think so.
I mean, there's something important about him.
Something important about him.
But does he kind of call people out on their
Mike
shit? Is that kind of what it is,
slipping.
or is it more
We're
just
catching Mike
about
slipping,
like
guys.
covering
I'm
the
gonna explain
gossip
to you
and the
why.
feuds?
I think that there's some things aren't true. A lot of it's not true. I think it's through conspiracy and things that he
Okay, so we
heard.
got to talk about this. So he's saying, and he's going to say this multiple times here. He goes, I think a lot of stuff that he says, and we hear this from Josh Denny too, as well. A lot of the stuff that he says isn't true. I have a bone to pick with this because I don't need this going around the internet as this guy is just saying untrue stuff. So I'm putting the challenge out there. Bobby Lee, what's untrue? I offer this challenge to Josh Denny as well, who's constantly saying that all I do is lie and make up lies about it. Well, what are the lies?
Nah, that ain't it. That ain't it. It's that they got a fucking old Jewish woman that's gossiping, looking at everything they're doing, and so they're fucking afraid that you're gonna expose some private thing or spin some narrative based on lots of truth and then exaggerate it and make it worse. Are we forgetting what this is? It's the obeyment. It's much easier. Yeah, Bobby Lee. Yeah, he's important. He's good for the comedy scene. Suddenly Mike's now getting attention from the comedy scene, which is weird because this is kind of anti-Redbar. You don't want these people to know. You don't want the fame. You don't want the attention. You don't want to be having comedians saying, "Oh, I'm in the Redbar rotation. It's cool." Once it becomes cool to the comedians, it's no longer cool. And this isn't the only time this happened. Let's look at this. It was on Legion of Skanks, I believe. Let's see here. Let's see if I got it. So they started bringing up Sam Tripoli, too. Let me see if this is it. Yeah, this is it. So this one's thanks to Focus CDS. I'm sure somebody else caught it, but hold on, let me exit out of this. And they bring up Sam Tripoli and they start saying weird shit about like how he has to like fuck his mom should fuck Redbar or something. Let me get rid of it. Here it is. So listen to this.
A mom on the right is Sam Tripoli's mom.
Okay, all right. Wow. All right, look, she's cute. Yeah, she's holding her temples because Sam's talking to her about a bunch of conspiracies. She's like, my brain, enough. Okay, the aliens are already here.
I'm going to fuck Redbar if you keep talking.
The moon's not real. I'm gonna fuck Redbar if you say one more word. All right, I'll wear the tinfoil hat when the comet comes.
Oh, dude, if Tripoli's daughter's mom was hilarious, she would just fuck Redbar.
Really? Really? What? I don't know. Why is that funny? It's just weird and awkwardly random. Get out of here, Sam Hyde. Go figure your shit out, man. Like, that's, I don't know. It's very, very odd to me that these comedians openly talking about Redbar. What does that signal to Redbar? He's like, oh, this is cool. Redbar in the wild. They're all noticing me. But do you notice what they're not? Afraid. They're not scared anymore, Mike. You know what this reminds me of? Let me give Mike a little hint of how he is slipping right now.
Ooh, enjoy. It's coming.
Hello, we are here against all the odds.
What's this?
The meeting of minds. I won't say great because what's a great mind anyway?
Fair.
But mine, and I say that for myself.
Mike's going to explain it to
Friendly
himself
minds today. Beautiful minds. Jeff Whittick.
Thank you for having me, my man.
Mike Malik.
Yeah. Okay.
Malik.
Well, that sounds like an I.
And just to be clear, this would be like if I had Mike on the show. That's how you got to look at this. This is just as crazy right now as if I had Mike on the show and was just being friendly with him. So imagine that, folks. For years, I bring you along and I say, this guy bad, this guy bad. And then all of a sudden, oh, guys, no. We're friends. So all that. Really?
Yeah, really.
Quite the robbery. Oh, you're muted. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, quite the robbery. Yeah, imagine Mike befriended Whitney Cummings' sister to have a connection to Whitney Cummings, a comic, a person he says is the evil of the world, the worst people. They all suck. Comedians suck. And now he's getting excited about comedians mentioning him, from Legion of Skanks, and then Bobby Lee, and then Whitney Cummings, and he wants these people to recognize him. But now the goal is no longer to fear him. It's just the recognition. And how is this any different from Big Mike and Tana Mugu and what's the other guy's name? Jeff Whittick coming onto Ethan Klein's podcast to now become friends with them and be attached with them? Obeyment. You and Ethan Klein are now the same fucking guy, except one has way more money than you, way more viewers, way more, accolades, way more lesbians.
Sorry. And he doesn't say anything. Like, he doesn't go to the audience and go, oh, I'm doing this.
Yeah, he doesn't tell us.
Like, he doesn't clarify to the audience what his beliefs even are.
No, just
anymore.
like Whitney Cummings now being friends with Chris D'Elia. Where was the update to us? Hooker. All right, check this out, Big Mike. And
see,
again,
a big reach. Really, he's upset that Whitney Cummings is not sharing information on Chris D'Elia because he's friends with Whitney Cummings' sister. See, he was expecting, if I am really nice to her sister, maybe Whitney is going to give us the dirt on Chris D'Elia, and then I can cover Chris D'Elia. What's the fucking difference? The only difference is they didn't come into the studio because he's afraid to have anyone in his studio or in his space except his fucking wife. That's the only difference.
Big Mike, I'm going to say this first. Big Mike is nothing but a downright dirty scammer con man. He's getting good.
Remember that. Dirty. No, what did he say?
Dirty scammer con man.
Dirty scammer con man. Remember that, folks. We're going to play a little bit of audio after this. And another thing that I'm going to lead you down a rabbit hole. You can choose to go down if you'd like or not. But I'm going to play a little bit and we're going to react to it. Some people are going to be happy about this one.
And he's getting good at being nice. Here, you can't be a con man and a scammer and go around telling everyone to fuck off that they're going to bust you. So what do? You make friends. You make everybody like you. You act nice. And then they forgive you for the crimes. No con man is going to go around being like, fuck you, I hate you, I hate... No, they're going to tell you how great you are.
Oh, really?
Should never fall for it. I see so many people all the time on the internet. Mike's actually pretty cool now. Why? Because he was fake nice to you? You believe that? What about the years of how horrible he was?
You think he's grown? No, he figured out how to shut you up.
This could literally be the same clip, but instead of Ethan Klein here, it could be the clip he just watched of Whitney Cummings and Bobby Lee, and then him getting super excited that somebody fucking recognized him. Like, oh, they said I'm important and they said nice things about me. You ever think they're being fake nice to get you to stop covering them? Everyone's obeying. But now it's become to this point where it's just, you're part of the comedy lexicon now. You're the Redbar guy who keeps all the comics in check. And they all love it because we need it and you're important. Now that they've called you important and said it's a good thing, oof, that's not good.
And you fell for it.
Someone
So
says
please.
Mike viciously attacked Tate and now he loves him.
Yes.
And I was going to say,
Oh.
yeah, we
Andrew
did
Tate, by the way,
like
another
an
guy we're gonna
hour
get
and a
into.
half long explanation.
We're gonna speed run this
Before
shit.
we got there.
Before
Ethan
I told
just
you that I love it?
shitted on Big Mike for like 3 years, and then he was just like, "Oh,
Not
they're
just
gonna come-
shitted on him, accused him of big scams, FBI jail time scams. And I don't know about you, but if someone did that to me, it wouldn't be like let's just have a friendship out of nowhere.
Oh yeah,
It would be I hate you if I wasn't doing those things.
that's interesting.
I wouldn't ever want to be friends with somebody that made millions of people believe that I've stolen money if it didn't happen. So anytime you see somebody going, oh, no, that's cool, they're working you over. And Ethan gets worked over like a fucking bitch. Watch this shit. How low can you go? Testosterone level wise. Ethan will show you.
Malak?
It should be Malak.
Oh, Malak.
Yeah, but
That's pretty
Malak
good.
works.
Watch
You didn't
this.
swallow
Craig
the J
says
and put an
Ethan
ash
is
on
way
it.
more
but
Jewish than
remember,
Mike.
He's like nervous as fuck too. 'Cause
Sure.
This is crazy. And again, the safety pills
But
are
again-
stopping his brain from going, wait, you're having these 3 on? You like really accuse them of some.
This is a thing we have to explain here. It applies to a lot of subjects that have been going on this week. Saying you are becoming someone doesn't mean you are them currently. It means that you are starting to show signs of that person. And you got to think, like, we heard during the Sven call that Mike unironically watches this H3 podcast. And when you're constantly consuming something for a very long period of time, ironically or unironically, you're consuming it. It's getting into your brain. You're going to start to feel like that person and act like that person, whether you want to or not. And that's why today we're killing some idols today. So hopefully I can get some people out of that loop. Yeah, you become the monster. What is Jordan Peterson's whole saying, that corny saying? Like, as long as you stare into the abyss stares back at you. Lest you become be a monster, lest you become the monster. I don't know, he says all this shit. Basically to say, the more time you spend staring into the abyss, covering one person, obsessing, you become that person. And Jordan Peterson's takes on it, well, I want to become the monster. You gotta be the monster. You just have to learn to control it. Bring it on. I think he was talking to, what's that guy? I forget his name. Did an interview with Jordan Peterson. He's got black buzz cut, kind of foreign accent, and talks like this. Yes, Jesse, do you think that's a good idea? And Jesse's like, Jordan's like, I bet my life on it. I was actually going to play it because there's a funny part of that where he's like, it's like Harry Potter. Which is kind of interesting because he's like, Harry Potter is a moral, righteous guy, but he bends the rules. He's supposed to be the good guy, but he has to be a monster to break the rules to fight evil. And he can talk to snakes. He can talk to snakes. So, I don't know, Mike is slipping here. He's getting too comfortable with the idea of all these comedians not being afraid of him anymore, and that's not good. Wasn't that the whole premise? to cover them and then them be in fear. None of them fear you anymore. Nobody cares. You got Legion of Skanks guys going, Sam Tripoli's mom should have sex with Redbar to get him at, which is such a stupid joke. It seems like they're just trying too hard to get Redbar to talk about them. Now they've figured out your scam, Mike, and how to manipulate you. Be really nice to Mike. Come up with some bullshit. Say he's very important. Really? Why don't you elaborate? Well, he keeps people in check. Okay, well, how? Some of it is lies. Oh, well, that doesn't really correlate to what you just said. It's not the same thing. So he's important because he calls people out and he lies. Okay. Bobby Lee's not the smartest. So, yeah. They figured out your game and how to play it back against you. And it really looks like you're never going to get any crazy reactions from anyone unless it's some unsuspecting person who doesn't even know who Redbar is. Let's see. What else? Oh, there's a Redbar fan that I want to kind of bring up because I think if I do bring him up, I could be the first one to maybe avoid a serial killer. But then there's an audio that I want to play too. Let me see. Let me pull this up. If you're Redbar fans, you're gonna know who this guy is. And I want to make sure that I do this right. Because this actually ties into comedy Shaman. For those of you who don't know, one of the previous episodes, remember I played the song, that Mike's drug song. And then at the end, we cut to the comedy Shaman admitting that he's on Kratom. And there's been these weird videos where this gentleman has been talking to not only comedy Shaman, but also Zair, who was another previous subject on the show. So hold on here. Bear with me, guys. I want to find it. By the way, I'll put the chat up here. Kiss to Harry Pothead. Infected Mushroom, no. Ari always name drops Redbar. Ari is always the one to bring him up. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. King Nomad, I got a new gun. I want to show it off on a live. Is that allowed? No, it's not allowed, King Nomad. Do you have an Instagram, King Nomad? You can go post it on there, I think. Let's see. You're a wizard, Harry. I do want to play that speech by Jordan Peterson. It's pretty funny. Because it's kind of ironic in the end. Harry Potter can talk to snakes. And in the end, he's victorious. Let me see. Oh yeah, I know. I sent it to I sent these to Zair. Because he was mentioned in one of them. So let me
channel this bus into the ground.
Let me show you guys. Wait, how can I pull this out? Hold on. Just checking something for a second. Okay. Here we go. Do you guys recognize this gentleman?
Play! Let me channel this bus into the ground. It's not that big. I say we get 6 men on it. We get it done in 4 hours. We need Zair. If we can get Zair out here, we can have this bad boy done in 2 hours. You ever seen that kid dig? Holy shit. Zair can dig. He is like a little Pakistani mole rat. He can channel like nobody's business. I know, yeah, I know. That's a cliche that it's the Jews. It's not. Let me channel this bus into the ground. It's not that big. I say we get 6 men on it.
Sir, what are you doing in the woods? Finding this random bus, talking about Zair and how he can help dig holes for you. What is going on here? This isn't the only video either. It's like, wait, what does the chat say? Because I want to know. Infected Mushroom. Leo Dominique, if you're out there, we're calling you. We're calling for you to explain this behavior, because there's another video here. This Leo Dominique is in a car, and it almost looks like he lives in it. And he starts talking about Comedy Shaman. And he starts telling him like, hey, Clay, I know you're in your bed rolling around, hot and cold and stuff. And it makes me wonder if something weird is going on. So apparently, Comedy Shaman went to rehab. Let me see. Let me find it. I'm hoping I sent all of them to Zair. He's wearing like a clown mask in one of the videos too. It's very creepy. Very, like he wants to be Heath Ledger or something. And I don't know why. Let me find it here. It's in my Discord. Leo. Oh, by the way, so I did a little research. It's like, who is this guy? And I found out he is the guy who made the song that goes, it's a Redbar rumor. Joey Diaz, do you know what that means? It's a Redbar rumor. A lot of the other stuff's not very good. Okay, here we go. So let me download this. Now, come on now, guy.
Oh, no sound, huh?
Okay. Doing all kinds of shit here.
Now there's no fucking lights. Deal with it. Just watch it. What do you gotta have sound? I need to hear it. Excuse me. You're inconvenienced. Sorry to inconvenience you. Oh, Clay, I'm sorry to inconvenience you. I know you got so fucking much happening right now, and I do not mean to interrupt. Oh, really? I'm sorry. Go back to shaking and rattling and rolling around in your bed. Oh, I'm hot, I'm cold, I'm hot, I'm cold. I get it. I've seen it. I've been there. I keep Narcan in my fucking trunk, all right? So don't come at me with your bigotry.
You keep Narcan in your trunk?
You want to be a bigot?
And look at the back of the truck. In his truck here. I know, he's got like his whole life with him. Gas can in the back seat. That's kind of dangerous, by the way. Leo is your name, I'm told. What are you doing? And so this is what's weird about this. After that episode where Comedy Shaman told everybody that he was on Kratom, and he said, I'm not coming back until I am off this. I'm going to rehab. And then you have this weird video. This is after the fact, way after, of this guy calling out Clay, speaking to him as if he's not actually in there, and he says he's in his bed. So Comedy Shaman, I hope if you're out there somewhere, did you actually go to a rehab? And if not, I hope you're at least detoxing at home or something. I don't know, I've heard all different stories, and is this guy just kind of narking on him? If that's not the case, that's kind of weird.
Fine. I've been nothing but fucking nice.
But not the weirdest part of this whole
stand up
thing.
for you when you're sitting down, you understand? You'll outgrow this phase, I fucking hope.
There you go. There you go. Let me find the other one here. This one's the most disturbing one. So let's just keep an eye on this guy, because for all we know, he could be a serial killer that has hidden the bodies. Maybe that's why the bus is there. He's trying to recruit Zair to help him. Very, very strange. Very, very strange behavior. Okay, maybe I sent it in this Maybe I sent it in this one. See, this is what happens. Sometimes I want to bring things up on the fly, and then it's not something that I have prepared, but I want to show it so badly. Let me see if somebody can get it for me. Hold on. Then we'll move on. Otherwise, hold on. Let me see. Chat again. Kratom has withdrawals. Unbleached says Kratom made me gay. Oh, Kratom made Clay gay. Sorry, that's not what I meant. Unbleached said Kratom made Clay gay, not him. Nat Clo, keep Hipstar banned, please. We're gonna get a little into that in a bit. Don't worry, I got something for Hipstar. You just wait, Hipstar. I got something for you. Let's see. I do want to get some of the comments on here. Pete Magnar, because he's a Magyar. Because he's a... He has an alternate opinion. I want to give alternate opinions here. He says, Whitney being a friend of a pedo is a bit different, LOL, as far as Crystalia. Yeah, no, I get the interest in wanting Crystalia's dirt and hoping that Whitney would have got it. It would be a cool connection to be friends. I understand why he's doing it. What I'm saying is, then he covers this whole thing with the H3 podcast, and he doesn't realize he's doing the same thing. He's befriending his enemies. And he's calling Ethan such a scumbag because this is a whole scam, and that Big Mike was only there because he wanted to try to get Ethan to stop talking about Logan Paul's scams with the Dink Doink and what was the other one? The 99 Originals and I don't know. He had all these scams. What was the one with the fake Pokemon thing? Crypto Zoo. Yeah, Crypto Zoo. There was a bunch of them. There was like 1 million of them that he did. By the way, not just him, Jake Paul too. Another guy I want to get into. I have that on the docket too. Jake Paul has been doing some weird shit. Yeah. I can't find it. I know I just sent it recently. Basically, the video we just saw of Leo Dominique, he was in the same truck. And then he goes, hold on a second. He turns the lights out, and then he comes back on with a fucking clown mask. It's the fucking creepiest shit ever. I mean, I can scroll. If it takes more than 10 seconds. No, that's not it. Okay, fuck it. You get the idea. It's creepy. From what I've heard, he's done a weird thing in the BBG where he's done a Joker reveal too, where he wrote a message where he's like, you either become the hero or you stay in the BBG too long and become the villain. And he's like, I was born the villain or something gay like that or something. And then he just reveals that he's a Joker guy. Leo, if you're out there, I would love to interview you at some point to figure out what the fuck you're talking about, man. And also, just to make sure that you haven't killed anybody. I want to know why you're in that woods, why you have all these tools in the back of a truck. Guys by themselves with a camera in the woods, filming weird objects, talking about burying things, never ends well. You guys remember, you might not, on YouTube there was a whole documentary about this guy on YouTube who basically filmed himself in the woods contemplating murdering his wife and children, and he was preparing it for months, and he kept filming these videos of him in the woods, like video vlogs, and by the end he actually does it, and then he's building this bunker in the woods for months, and the police have to finally find it. And he's been hiding in there, like eating off of food cans and all that stuff and rations. And it was like a whole shootout, basically. Getting the same kind of vibe from that. But let's see. What do I end with the Redbar stuff? Do I save it for the end because it's long? Let me see. Let me look through what I have right here. Okay. Hey, we did that. We did that. We did that. Did that. Okay. Okay, so let's end the mic segment here. Okay? I'm just going to play a little bit of this because this is long. Not a lot of people have heard this. You guys can hear this good?
Thinking of your tender wife and kids. As the sky is filled with thunder and the ground begins to split, there's a thought that's creeping through your head. That soon you could be dead. With James Fritz.
James Fritz. By the way, James Fritz is a guy that used to be one of the comedians in the Redbar Comedy Club. Okay. Let me just skip past this really stupid intro. I'm only going to play a little bit of this because they get pretty much right into the meat of it. And then I'm going to direct you guys to this. Okay, enough with the gay music, dude. I don't want to hear it.
Thanks for having me. Stevens, they call me.
That makes no sense. The other man laughing to the microphone is my good friend and lover, Mike Stanley.
Hey, it's good to be here. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
By the way, I've noticed there's this weird channel on YouTube. It's called Redbar Historia. And there's some Redbar fan, it has to be a Redbar fan, who has been making all these videos where he is covering all of Mike's history from way back, from the very beginning, from when he used to have a Redbar Radio free speech logo, and then it gets to the point where Patrick Melton is introduced to Mike. I think that's the latest one that was posted, where they're showing Patrick Melton standing next to a booth where Mike was set up doing his podcast. And it's a very weirdly edited, put together documentary series, but it's also very, very accurate. And I'm not calling anyone out there, but the guy is using AI voiceover for these videos, so he's not using his actual voice. And the word Historia, I believe, is derived from Sweden. So I might have uncovered a secret, and I know who made that channel. And let's just say he's been getting in trouble for sharing it. Anyway, so yeah, that thing is out there, and the Redbar fans hate this. They're like, stop sharing it. It's a hater channel. But it's just covering real basic factual history of Redbar stuff. None of this though. So this is a podcast. It was James Fritz made a podcast. It was titled You Could Be Dead, The Devil's Road Scooter or something like that. If you go onto Google and you search this term, James Fritz, You Could Be Dead, Redbar, it'll pop up as like a Reddit post or something. No, it's one of them. So this is all of the comedians that used to work in the Redbar Radio Comedy Club discussing Mike and their experiences with him. And in fairness, there is apparently an episode where Mike came back after a long hiatus and he kind of addressed this thing and his side of it. And I tried to pull it and I heard a little bit about what he claims, but I don't know. It doesn't really add up, but you can make your own decision. You can go find those episodes. I have the dates of them written down somewhere if you want to go listen to them. So it's around this time period. Mike is on a long hiatus and then he comes back and he responds to it to tell people. It was kind of like his Anthony Cumia moment where Anthony was fired from from Sirius XM and then started Compound Media and did the whole first episode walking on Greg shells, like his tell-all. So he has his version of that. So you can go listen to that if you feel that has good counterpoints. But here is just a little bit. I'm not going to play this because let me see. Yeah, it's 2 hours long, this podcast. But you get a good ideas from the beginning.
Oh, yeah. Where to start? I guess we should start by establishing our relationship in case someone doesn't know or if they've only been listening to the Maniacs for the last week or two. I did Redbar for like 4 years, off and on. Stanley, you did it.
It's happening.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while.
I stopped about 2 years ago for reasons we'll get into.
Right.
We'll get into
Junior, you did it for meat.
You got paid in meat?
I got paid in sacks of meat.
Well, at least you got paid.
But it was fresh. So.
In fairness, the guys in this podcast sound kind of gay and maybe deserved it, but that's neither here nor there. Okay.
Hey.
I think I've done it, I don't know, maybe a dozen times or so.
But you're beloved.
Yeah.
Is that a movie?
Yes, you're a
The
movie
Beloved?
starring a lot of black women.
Yeah, and I just been very interested. I've been listening to both sides and talking to a lot of people, and a lot of people have been asking me, and I go, I don't know. I'm Junior. That's all I know. So,
and I also want to say this might be a little scatterbrained just because there's literally so much shit to wade through in relation with this guy. And like I said, I did an album with the guy because I didn't know any better. And I enjoyed doing the show. I love doing the show.
The show was fun. Yeah. When I was on it, I had a good time. I'm not going to lie. I did.
I got a lot of great fans from it, but there's also a lot of fans who believe every word this man says.
Let's listen to the whole thing, 2 hours, let's
they're like,
fucking
why are
go.
you being silent and calling me names?
She would
and
never
such,
say that.
which are that's just hurtful.
That's not the real Rogan.
And
nothing's hurtful than a Facebook fuck you.
Yeah, right.
That's
If you type in a computer, that's worse than getting punched in the groin with a hammer.
Right.
It hurts.
No, but seriously, when death threats and shit like that get involved with people's families and crap like that.
Yeah.
And I love you. You're my friend,
That's
and I see you all the
ridiculous.
time.
Oh, yeah, this is what friendship is.
Oh, that's what it is?
Yeah.
Right.
That's how that works. It's reciprocal.
So a lot of people want to know why I left. Well, I left because, first of all, I hadn't been having that much fun with him for a while.
Yeah.
And, but I still liked going in and, doing radio and, talking to fans and stuff. But I was shown a bunch of new evidence about all the shit he was pulling with everyone, irrefutable stuff that immediately fell in line with everything I suspected forever. I'm not an idiot, but I guess I was in denial because he's very manipulative and I have classic low self-esteem issues.
Sure.
And, he promises you the world and all that shit. And where do I start with this? I mean, fuck, he claimed on the show he paid me $50 a week to do the show. That's an out-and-out lie.
Yeah.
He offered, or I asked, I was like, look, I'm broke. I'm spending at least $20 there and a lot of hours of my time 3 days a week on bus fare and getting up there, and I'm broke. And he was like, oh, I'll give you $25 a week. He did that for about 2 weeks.
So you made $50.
Sweet $50. Nice. Which a bus pass for 7 days is $23.
Yeah.
So just so you know that. And he owed me $200 because that much time had left. I'm not good at asking for money.
Right. Well, it's one of those things where you shouldn't have to ask. It's just pay what you owe.
Especially
and let's move
when a man
forward.
has 2 flat screen TVs.
Right. Let's not make it awkward. Just pay what.
When a man has 2 flat screen TVs. This is pretty old when that's kind of a flex. 2 flat screen TVs. By the way, guys in the chat, yes, I will address Hipstar. I have something at the end of this. Do not worry. I do not fear Hipstar. Hipstar fears me. By the way, look in the audience tomorrow, Hipstar. Look in the audience. I never said I'm going to be there, but someone will be. You better look in the audience, and there will be someone there. It's not a threat. It's going to be funny. But just look, just keep your eye out. And I got something for you at the end here. I saw he was live tonight. I didn't see anything he did yet, so I don't even know what I'm responding to, but I have something. And then that's going to be the end of it. But let's see. His peeps are in here. Is he gone? Has he stopped streaming already? Chris says, no crosstalk chat, please. Hey, Robin. Why? Don't ignore Tina. I don't know. I'm trying to do this. I can't pay attention to all this shit. CB Project. Yeah, these are all loser open mic comic dorks. Dude, there's so much horrible shit Mike has done in the past. Yeah, this is just straight up criminal shit, though. This isn't like, I let my dog shit in a tub type stuff. This is, he committed multiple actual crimes.
What you owe, that way there's no weird shit between friends.
Yeah, but
we're not listening to the whole thing. There's a good chunk in the beginning that kind of gives you an idea, and then I can just steamroll through the bigger points of what happened, and then if you don't believe me, I told you the name of it, and you can go listen for yourself.
He doesn't believe in paying what you owe, and
he doesn't believe in friends either.
No,
so
he can't have them, and
doesn't believe in friends.
And so he owed me like $200 back, and I just brought it up. I was like, I'm keeping it. He's like, keep a tally of what I owe, and I'll pay you whenever.
Right.
And he owed me like $200, and I asked for it in an email, and he was like, hey, if you need that money, I don't need you on the show. Screw you. I'll find someone else.
Right. Well, okay. Well, that shows your value to him.
Exactly.
Basically.
So when people bring all,
what are you, a Jew? You need $200? Just the fact you need. See where it all starts? Wow, it all ties in. He needed the money.
All that. Hey, how can you screw over a friend of yours like that? We were not friends.
Yeah.
He can't be friends. We were friendly at times. But he doesn't value friendship on any fucking level.
Right.
People are just objects to him.
Right.
And he's like that with everyone. There's a reason, listeners. And if you're, and I'm saying all this to say, like, I want this to be the last word on all this shit. I did not want to do this fucking show. I wanted to move on with my fucking life.
Yeah.
And start my own podcast and have fun with my friends. But he wouldn't drop it. And the man and the comic in me gets tired of having lies spread about.
Sure. Well, yeah, and then you're getting death threats. Your friends are getting death threats. Your friends' families.
People are questioning my
threats.
fucking honesty, and that makes me mad.
Yeah.
Because
I've never known anybody who's more honest and caring. That sounds like shit, but it's true. But you're generally a good guy.
Yeah, I mean, there's a level of sincerity that you have, and
you did the show free for 4 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, and I was fine with that. But what was I talking about?
You were talking about not getting paid and saying you were going.
Yeah, and he let me know many times that the show would be fine without me, and it probably will. Oh, but
so this is a theme, people not getting paid, okay? And this is going to continue, but hold on. I'll just get it to the chat here a bit. Chris has mod me. See, Chris, this is the difference. I don't really need to moderate the chat. The only thing that's not allowed in the chat is doxing, okay? People can insult me, say anything crazy they want. I don't care. Yeah, just no doxing, and the rest is free for all. We ain't these other communities. We aren't like you, where oh my god, they didn't agree with me, ban them immediately. No, that's not how we do it here. People get to say whatever the fuck they want. I don't care. It's just text, guys. Dark Tina, Wush, now go to the chat and read all the comments starting from the beginning. Okay. Dark Tina, her name is proper. Dark Tina is dark. She likes to get real down and dirty. But she's funny. David Walsh, Chris, I watch those streams on mute. More fun that way. Okay, CB Project. Maybe I can get a little into this later. Hey, Robin, I knew May couldn't be trusted. A person that goes around calling people baby girl and isn't a 300-pound black woman is not to be trusted. Okay. Yeah, that's funny. Okay, good job, cool boy. Hipstar DM me saying how scared he is of Lossless. I believe it. I noticed, by the way, so he was used to me going on Fridays, and then what happened? Last minute, change of plans, Saturday. You're predictable, Hipstar. I knew what you're gonna do. And you know what? I ain't on the stream team no more, so I can go live whenever the fuck I want. Head to head, bitch. Now we're head to head. Now it's a competition. You love it. You love competition. By the way, someone said, what the fuck is a hip star? That was Italian Stallion, by the way. Thank you for that, sir. Hipstar is a creator on YouTube. We're going to see him later, and you will learn who Hipstar is. Let's see. Death Punch 23. Lossless sounds like made by Jim Bob and just as G. Generic. Bam! You know what? I need to pull out my iPad so then I can do all the sound effects, the stupid sound effects. But if I do it, I would just start autistically just hitting all the buttons, which is basically what Hipstar is doing. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's just hitting random buttons. Mike beat up his girlfriend one time. That's an allegation. I don't know if that's true or not. You were right. Let's see. White Groper, I hate Mersh. Jonathan Contis. Welcome back, Jonathan. Don't worry, Mike is sending him 12 inflatable rafts for all of his troubles as we speak. J.E. Unban Hipstar then. He's not banned. But you muted my other channel. You muted my other account. 23 Button Doing. I don't know who you are. TJ Blackmore. That was the old co-host. What's his name? No, it says James Fritz, and then they give all the names at the beginning.
I was gonna say that to say this. Like, I want this to be the last. I only want to do this podcast one time. I don't want my show to be like a gossip show or any high school bullshit drama. I was hoping this would just die, but he's stirring the shit. And fine, consider shit stirred. But like, I just did this to clear the fucking air. And if you like his show, listen to his fucking show. If you like my show, listen to my fucking show. But stop with the childish bullshit, Mike, or shit can get even more real. And the only reason Kyle's not on this show is because of legal matters. Because there's legal matters involved.
Yeah. So Kyle was the guy who is in business with Mike. Kyle was the owner of the club, okay? So a lot of people have this delusion that Mike started his own comedy club. No. This comedy club already existed, and then what ended up happening is, in order to market the club, they renamed it to the Redbar Comedy Club. And then Mike, being a guy who was going to do podcasting with a show similarly named Redbar Radio, was then going to utilize the radio podcast, is basically what it was. There was short stints of him, I guess, being on some radio stations, whatever. He wasn't a radio guy who was syndicated across the nation. He wasn't a Howard Stern. He's a podcaster. Internet radio, sometimes we called it. And he would use that show to have the comedians on, promote them, promote the club. And in exchange, he was now a partner of the club and in charge of marketing. And he did a whole intro to the club. It's in that Redbar Historia channel. If you go watch Redbar Historia, I think there's like 4 episodes or something now, maybe more. And they cover Mike introducing everyone to the club, and it's a very classy club. And everyone's like, wow, Mike's got class. He knows how to set up a club. And it's like, no, that was the club. They just brought him in on it and renamed it to Redbar Comedy Club. Okay? And then he had the podcast similarly named. And Kyle was the business partner. Okay? He's the one with the money.
And, so that's that. But yeah, the evidence I was shown.
What do you say to people who are like, oh, why don't you be a man and go on the show? You know?
First of all, I'm not a man.
You're a baby bear.
No, I'm a post-op trainer. Be a man and be on the show. I don't want to fucking see his face again. I want nothing to do with him. I made an offer for the CD. I was like, I'll buy it outright. Yeah. I never had a contract. He would refuse to sign a contract with.
So to explain this a little bit better, Mike was also somehow finagled his way into being the guy who handles the comedian's merch and CD sales, and the distribution. Oh yeah, I got a distribution guy. I can get your CDs printed. I can get your merch. Fast forward to today, he's got the connects with the merch people. But I think now it's just a guy who's like across the street from him. But yeah, Mike was always like, I can do the merch stuff and I can get your CDs done. So the comedians were all coming to Mike in order to process and distribute and produce these CDs and get them out to the fans of these comedians that were performing in this club. Okay? So that gives you some context.
With the CD with me, he refused to show me real numbers. He'd just be like, we're not getting them in. Like iTunes, the corporation is just lazy about that shit.
Obfuscating numbers and stats and counting on this stuff on his end of the business.
Right. They're not on top
I
of
just got emails from him in his text saying like, this is the money made, here's your half. And that was the verbal or one email deal. There was never a contract signed.
So that was a dead end as far as you even questioning how much your album was bringing in. You couldn't even question him about it because he would just be like,
I had no idea.
Yeah.
You never seen any paperwork on your CD at all?
Not like official forwarded from iTunes. No.
Yeah. What did he do? He just gave you cash, or how did it work?
No, he would have Kyle cut a check because he doesn't have a fucking bank account.
Which is mind blowing to me if you're running a comedy club.
Just to address some of the chats here. Basically just Holy Driver. Dude, everyone's heard this story already. No, they haven't. No, they haven't. You know how many people I've mentioned this to and they have no fucking clue? And you know what? I'm not saying people are going to hear this and then suddenly go, oh my God, I no longer like Redbar. But I think it is relevant information, and there are people who are interested in the history of a guy. Why is Mike any different from a Howard Stern or an Opie and Anthony? People love going back. Right now, I showed you on a previous episode, Patrick CC, a guy who's total Gen Z dude, is now doing a retrospective, he did it already, of Howard Stern's whole career. Why is Mike's history something we shouldn't learn about? He's been around for 20 years, I think maybe more now. Why is his history not relevant? Why? Give me an answer. Give me a good explanation why we shouldn't care about where this man came from. People love to go back to the old clips of like Mike where he's in that studio doing the interview with some other podcast guy, and he's in the very first studio. And the guy's like, how are you doing it where you're not needing sponsors? And he's trying to learn from Mike, and Mike is teaching him stuff, and they're asking each other questions back and forth. Like, people are interested in the history. It's just you guys don't want to hear the history that makes him look bad. But it's all part of it. I could cover all the good stuff, but more people care about wanting to know what he did wrong. Like that whole idea of him making his dog shit in the tub is funny. This is not.
How do you not have a bank account?
How do you not?
But I'm agreeing. Listening to these guys talk, I was like, you kind of deserved it. You seem like total marks. But it doesn't make it right. And it does get a little bit crazier.
Not pay taxes in 8 years and brag about it on the internet.
Right.
Accusation there. Mike has not paid taxes in 8 years and bragging about it in this point in time.
No bank account.
And people think you're the honest guy.
Right.
How do you not have one fucking person who's ever worked with you ever have your back?
Right.
And have people believe like, oh, the world is wrong. This one guy is the bastion of fucking
That's the thing. It's like there's 8 or 9 people who've been fucked over by this dude, and we're crazy.
You mean 8 or 9 like comics and
comics and people who've had.
If you get into the fans, it's in the hundreds.
Yeah, if you have, the fans are going to follow him regardless. That's
fine.
That's the way that it is.
Fine, but I want you to know the proof I saw. He's stolen from you. That's when I decided I was done with him.
Yeah,
that's when I decided. I mean, and I should have known the way he fucked over Stanley, the way he fucked over Dean, the way he's fucked over everyone he's worked with.
Yeah.
I knew, I guess, in my heart there's something that didn't trust the guy, but like I was like, whatever. I wanted to put out an album. I wasn't getting any other offers.
Right. There's some of the names.
And you're a stand-up.
You guys,
I'm a stand-up comic.
That's all you got.
That's right. And but like when I saw evidence. I know he claims to have a box of truth or something.
The box of Pandora's box of truth that he has.
Right. I've seen We'll get into that.
So
we can get into that right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Fucking there's printed evidence dating back to 2009 that he owes over $4,000 to you. His fans.
His fans. Yeah. This is all.
Well, I've gotten personal messages for years. Where's my stuff? Where's my stuff?
$400,000 is not chump change. Also remember, this is decades ago. $400,000 today would be what? Somebody do the math on that. That's a lot of money.
Store.
By the way, alleged. This guy's accusing him of that.
Yeah, I still get that, and I haven't been on the show in 2 years.
Right.
Well, yeah.
I ordered a DVD from Redbar. I never got it.
And I've got a message. I got a message from a kid on Facebook. I was just on Facebook one day, and this kid sent me a message. Sounded like a sweet kid. He's been a fan of the show forever. Been a fan of Redbar forever. He sent me a message saying, "I helped." Mike was strapped for cash a couple years ago. Shocking, and he needed help hosting his website. So he hosted his website for a year for like $300.
Yeah.
Asked Mike to repay the money. Mike blocked him on Facebook. Of course. Return his emails.
Right.
He did this to a fan.
Sure.
And when I started to learn all this, I was like, oh, of course.
Not Cameron, I hope.
Guys have been fucking...
Clearly.
I've been charmed or fucking whatever.
I'm looking at a stack of papers where people bought Tough Luck Chump. There's 21 orders on here.
Right.
21 orders of people ordered my DVD that never received it. I never saw a dime. I didn't even know this was going on. First off, when the project was in Mike's hands, it was never even done. It wasn't even finished yet. So he pre-sold 21 orders of Tough Luck Chump.
At $20 a pop.
At $20 a pop.
Kept all the money
never
for
sent a
that was
single
never made.
one. Yeah. That he was responsible for making and then never did.
Yeah. When did your album come out?
This year.
When was it recorded?
2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, not wait a minute. 09. So he how did
all those Obama just got elected references are.
Yeah. Yeah. None of them hold any weight at this point. Yeah.
And what happens to the fans? I mean, did you give them their DVD? I don't know.
Anyone who sent me a message about it saying that they ordered my DVD through Redbar and didn't get it, I'm like, you need to contact Mike because I have nothing to do with that.
Oh, that was another thing with my album. There was he's saying like FRITZ made more money off that album than me. I don't see how, first of all. But if that's true, I made fucking he ordered one shipment of the physical copies that I could like sell at shows.
Right, tangible copies.
Would not order a second one, said he never had the money. Meanwhile, he's buying motorcycles. He's fucking taking taxis to go get $50 haircuts.
So this is a funny thing. I've heard this story that Mike raised a bunch of money and then it was supposed to be for this and then he bought a motorcycle with it. He also used to like beg the fan base for like please donate me $20 to buy a pack of cigarettes, which is so weird considering this. Let's see. Maybe I have to pull this down first. Let's leave this up, actually. There we go. This is more fitting for listening to this.
No, like it's ridiculous shit. Giving me shit about being poor for 4 fucking years.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he's fleecing people. Like I think Gibson's has a table named after him now called the oily douchebag. He's there every fucking 3 nights bragging in my face about it. Like screw this shit. Like I'm fucking sick of it.
Well, that's the thing.
You want real, motherfucker? We getting real up.
You had an album that was on iTunes. It was #1 on iTunes for 2 days. Yeah. Right? For 2 days.
And
#1 on iTunes.
For a good week and a half, 2 weeks.
That was great for you.
And if you look at the roster of people who were out that week, we were talking about this earlier. If you look at the roster of people whose albums came out that week, you were amongst some of the biggest comedy names in the business. Now, if you're against all those people,
Shecky Fartstein.
Right.
He's good. He's real underground.
But I'm saying the amount of money you took in for your album isn't anywhere near comparable of what it should have been for being #1 on iTunes. It's fucking ridiculous.
And another podcaster who has albums, who you guys might know, but I'm not going to say his name because I don't know if he wants it said, made a very good comment. Like, you think you're the one guy he wouldn't steal from? What would make me special?
Right.
Above like his family members and everyone he knows,
girlfriends,
his ex-girlfriends.
Yeah,
it's what a guy does. That's what he does,
right.
You know. And the same comic said that when he was doing the old Redbar Club, Mike bragged the entire night about how much he was stealing from his fans.
Nice.
This
is right in front of me. And this is taken from.
This is the guy you're making death threats on the behalf of.
Yeah. What is this?
People.
What is this taken from? This is taken from.
angry.
Google checkout?
Oh, Google checkout.
Oh, right. And then people, that's another thing we'll talk about. People talking about like somehow Kyle Lane and his interns put spyware on Mike's computer. Kyle doesn't know how to operate a toaster. He's an idiot. But like, he's a sweet.
Right. I mean,
but what is it?
He wouldn't even know
he's a
what
technological idiot.
Mike makes it sound like he's a mastermind who dropped in from the ceiling like Tom Cruise on a
Mission Impossible.
Is there like cameras in his house? I don't know.
Dude, they're all watching me, man. Like, fuck that. He's lost it. He's lost his mind. And what I really wanted to happen against all hope was that maybe this would be the thing. If he lost everything, he'd get some real help.
Help? Do you think he would ever get help?
No. I don't think he's helpable.
No.
But because you have to admit that there's a problem.
Yeah, and he won't ever do that. That's just the way that he is.
But anyway, like, the spyware thing. No passwords were ever stolen. Everything was business related. Like, these were people who were working with him, you know,
rags to riches,
relationship, business wise or whatever. That
these were people who were entitled to the access of what he was selling and was coming in and out of the store.
And when shit started going down with the club and everything, they just looked at it and saw this shit.
Right. All they had to do was hit print. That's it. I mean, they were
right?
entitled to everything that was printed out.
Right. And Kyle Lane's personal and financial identity was tied to Redbar Radio without Kyle's consent. Fucking illegal. And he's racking up these debt to these fans, which is over $4,000. That's a felony.
Is Mike's name
under Kyle's name.
But is Mike's name? It should be on. I mean, if
Kyle never made $1 on Redbar Radio, he spent more money trying to separate himself from this asshole.
But
so when people claim that this studio that I'm slowly building is all like money Kyle stole from what money? First of all, no one's. We've been recording in someone else's studio for the past month.
Right. That was already built. That wasn't something you guys like pulled money together from Redbar and then.
Kyle put up a little money for this. He has nothing to do with any of the content.
So this is my understanding, and just say yes.
We were basically homeless for 2 months, me and Kyle, before this new place.
Yeah, confirm this.
How much money were we rolling in? How much Mike David fanciful money?
I want to know if Mike David his actual name is on stuff because that's his property.
His name's on.
He couldn't put his name on anything because his credit was so bad. That's what happened. Everything was put in Kyle's name. Things were put in Kyle's name that Kyle didn't even know. The name Redbar was put in Kyle's name on Kyle's credit card without Kyle even knowing. Because Mike he had no credit. He couldn't even do that.
Right. And when people are like, Kyle stole all this, it was all under Kyle's name. And when he found out everything, he had to separate from this guy because the club wasn't even going to allow him in the doors because he tried to fight the owners of the club during Just for Laughs. He ruined the relationship with Just for Laughs of the club, which is a great idea. He's physically hit me. He's physically hit Kyle. He's physically tried to hit the owner of a club. Yeah, it was funny though. But
what? I want to hear that.
You never heard that?
No.
Oh, he got mad at me during a show one time in his studio and came at me, arms swirling,
just chicken wristed you.
Surprised he hasn't made Redbar coin.
But I saw his eyes and I was like, this is crazy, man. But I don't know why I stuck around. I feel like Meredith Baxter Burney sometimes.
Did he deck you?
He put everything in Kyle's name. Without Kyle knowing, because he couldn't establish credit.
Sure. Well, I mean,
so Kyle owned everything.
Some of them might have been in his parent. I think it was
put it in his parents' name too.
Whatever. Okay. None of it was in his fucking name.
Yeah. Because he had no bank account, so he had to put everything in Kyle's name. He put the name Redbar Radio under Kyle's name without Kyle knowing.
Filtering money.
Okay, so if people are gonna say, "Oh, that's all bullshit," right? There is a lawsuit over this whole thing. And then they had to fight over the Redbar name. Eventually, Mike got control of it because Kyle just wanted to distance himself from this Redbar name altogether. Wasn't because like Mike won this battle or something. And then he tells his revisionist history, in my opinion, that the club was stolen from him. But again, where there's smoke, there's fire. We just covered Sam Hyde before. You could say things are faked or made up. But when there is so much evidence, it's just improbable that all of it is made up, guys. Yes, some of it could be exaggerated. Maybe not all of it is true. But there is stuff here that leads to factual information that says it's true. That being one of them. Like, the Redbar Club was named after his podcast only because the name was changed so he could be the marketing guy. And that's him. This is him marketing the show, I guess. Driving in a Mercedes, by the way. And I don't know. It seems a lot of mooching. So he was taking his parents' money. They were paying. There's a clip of actually Mike David on a podcast with Josh Denny and Patrick Melton. And Mike is shaming Josh Denny for being an Uber driver. And then Josh Denny says, well, your parents still pay for the place you live in. And Mike doesn't go, no. He goes, yeah, so? And he's like, yeah, well, I have to work a job to make a living, unlike some people. So Mike has had a history of usury to get people's money. So the allegation here is that he was using Kyle, his business partner's credit card, committing credit fraud, buying shit, who knows what. And eventually they had to lock him out of the computer, the business computer, to get rid of him. And then he said, I was stolen from me. So maybe there's a whole other story out there that makes sense, but I don't know how you can combat, like, you're taking money for the production of CDs for comics that are in the club. You're taking money for merchandise. The fans are not receiving it. They're getting multiple messages of people, we never got it. We never got it. And he was in charge of sending it out. So those people are not getting it. That means that he was pocketing the money and suddenly he's driving a motorcycle. Yeah, he can let his dog shit in a tub and piss on the balcony where it rains down on the neighbors all he wants. This is like actual crime, dude. And he got away with it. So that's cool, I guess.
Filtering money from the fans.
The fans, just taking money from the fans and then spending money.
Doing who knows what with me. I have no documented proof of that. I'm just using my brain and every piece of thing I've heard about this man in the last fucking year.
Right.
Or two.
So that's how you have all this information here that's in front of me. This is the Google checkout list of things coming into the store,
and if
money
this is
coming
all
into
a big
the store.
elaborate scheme and lie. Okay, so Kyle Lane is creating fake book friends of mine who have been friends with me since 2009 and writing as them, talking about things owed to them. And if you believe that, enjoy the rest of your life.
Right. So that's an example of an excuse. They're being accused. So this is the other side of the story. You're making these fake accounts and they're saying, so you're saying we could see the future and friends of mine from 9 years ago are now suddenly saying they haven't received merchandise, knowing 9 years later they were going to need to do this and fake all these messages. Okay, so that's the type of shit you're going to get on the other end of the story. So that's what I'm telling you. But let me look in the chat here a bit quickly. Steve is the man 84 says, how do you not walk all over these guys? Yeah. By the way, have no idols, guys. Have no idols. Just enjoy the show. Don't obsess over these guys. They're all going to disappoint you in the end. Look, here's a negative one. Bach Precision, you are not funny. Okay, I'm sorry. Steve is the man 84. Yeah, read that one. Matthew McKee's a year. Yeah, give it 3 years. No, give it 4 years. I've given it. First time I saw him was in the pandemic. That's what, 2020 to 2022, I think, right? It was the middle of that. So it's been at least 3 years. And it's just gotten worse. It was actually better in the beginning. Before the year. I think you should change that. Like, give it a month. And then hopefully you still like it. Because when I first saw it, this is what's funny. It kind of relates to all, like, the message you guys are leaving me, right? This is the type of comments I would see in comment sections on clips of Redbar videos when I first discovered him. And so I was always like, yeah, this guy is kind of weird. He's being super petty and he's analyzing things over as he's like, the resolution of this screen is too low and the bezels are too big. By the way, Mike has still yet to take my challenge. I measured my bezels. They are under a ½ inch. You got to measure your bezels, Mike, or you're disqualified. Sorry. You came up with the rule, so your bezels are huge, bro. I think my bezels are smaller. Who's the guy that sounds like Roger from American Dad who sounds like Paul Lind? Yeah. See, it's hard to tell them apart because they all sound the same, which is why I say maybe they deserved it. But still, it's a crime. And it's a pattern. It's a pattern that we see over the course of his career of just basically fucking over friends. It kind of feeds into the idea and the psychological thing of like, okay, he was friends with comedians. He had them around him. He wanted to be one. He used to be the MC, and people go, no, he never wanted to be a comedian. There is footage of him on stage trying to be a comedian, doing a set and bombing. Bombing. Like certified bomb. And maybe he has animosity towards these guys because that was the beginning of his career. And I can kind of relate to that because I've had situations where I had been in business with guys and they fucked me over. But I was on the other end of it. I was the one that was trying to be scammed and having crimes pulled on me and my business fucked with. So that's how I relate. Not from being the guy, I'm going to tell these people that I'm going to make them t-shirts and CDs and then keep all the money and go buy a motorcycle for myself. No. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Never done that. My criminal record is clean. Squeaky clean. You can't get into Canada with any crimes on your record. Not even a DUI, okay? Let's see. Ash Willifee. Sorry if I'm reading it wrong. It has to be held to make money for comedians. Yeah, stand-up comedy is dying. Stand-up comedy as an art form is dying. There's a few people left, but ultimately this whole thing is dying, which is actually bad for Mike because it's this whole business model, you know? And it's weird, I guess. I've seen stand-up shows like Jay Okerson with what was it, Legion of Skanks, whatever that show was, where they were like, oh, Sam Tripoli's mom should have sex with Redbar. We saw Jay Okerson live. We went to one of the Legions of the Skanks events. And when you're there and you're in person and maybe if you have a drink or two, you might laugh at stuff more, even if it's not super funny or well crafted. Jay Okerson out of the group of people was the funniest one. The rest of them sucked. But Jay Okerson was, yeah, he was pretty funny. He had a few good lines. But overall, I don't know. I was never into stand-up comedy either. So it's not like I'm this guy who's like, I love comedians. How dare you attack the comedians, Mike? It's like, no, I do agree with a lot of it. That art form is dying. The idea of someone having a rehearsed thing, and you're hearing, they write their jokes and then they say them over and over and over again. And you know, even if you're in a new town, they're telling you a joke that they just told in another town before they got there, maybe slightly adjusting it for the crowd, but ultimately it's all written and rehearsed. That whole phony, contrived thing, yeah, it doesn't resonate with me. And then I'm like, is there something wrong with me? For so long, I thought there was something wrong with me because I would go to a comedy show and other people were laughing. And then I feel like, do I laugh so I don't look weird? Do I laugh so I fit in? No, I've never done that. I've never fallen victim to that. The groupthink. You know who I'm talking about. Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. You just want to be a part of the group that has the advantage in the moment, and you want to suck their teats and pull their nipples. Ooh, give me that sweet friendship. Very phony. That's contrived too. When you pretend to like someone and you overly lick their nuts to get their attention. Wait, let me see what's a good way I could put this. Hold on, guys. I just have to give someone a message. See if this works.
You are a ball licker.
Oops. That wasn't the right one. Hold on. Hold on. Here we go. This is a message for you. And you'll know who you are. Dua in Bulaskier. Give me Google Translate. It's supposed to read it. Here we go. You. You're gay. Here.
Du är gay. Du är gay. Du är gay. Du är gay.
Okay, now you know who I'm talking about.
It's gonna be rough.
Well, you showed me these papers, just like people just asking for their stuff.
Right. I've personally seen documentation that everything related to Redbar Online could have been back up and running in less than a week if Mike would have just been honest about his debt and his theft and stopped slandering and threatening. It could have been up like any time. It's just Kyle Lane, me, and a giant number of my friends simply want nothing further to do with this guy. No one wants the Redbar name. Trust me. I just want to be done with it and move on. And that's all anybody wanted in all this.
So that fits into what I said. He didn't win the Redbar name. They voluntarily got rid of it because they were like, there's so much bad blood and toxicity attached to this name. We don't even want it. You can have it. Here, take it. There was no fight over it. So that's how we got the name. I do remember, like, you know, it's redbarradio.net. Then there was redbarradio.com or whatever. For a long time, Mike didn't have access to the .com version of it. And then there was the lawsuit. And I think it took him probably 15 plus years to finally get that .com that now redirects to the .net. So there was some point of contention there. Maybe this guy Kyle was holding on to it out of spite. I don't know what the story is behind that. I haven't looked into that. But I did notice that for a while, he did not have that domain. They took that domain. So they had to switch it to redbarradio.net. Ash Will, if he says, I love doing Hunger Games. Thank you. You know who? Aren't we just calling a spade here? What you trying to say there? Beef Jerky. Lossless, what are your crimes? Other than this show, nothing. Some people would say not being funny is a crime. You know what? This is the thing I was trying to say to somebody else. Not everybody is a comedian. And if I came on here describing myself as a comedian, then it would be a different story. I'm a guy who likes to give my opinions and be critical of things. And sometimes some funny things will happen, maybe in my control or not, maybe on purpose or not, you never know. Or maybe show you something funny. But yeah, I'm not here to be like, yuck, I'm going to make a joke. That's a comedian thing. Like I said, stand-up comedy's dead. And that's not like my aspiration to be a clown. That's not it. But you could laugh at me or cringe at me, whatever entertainment you got at it. If you don't get entertainment, then I'm sorry. And hopefully next time you come back and there is something funny there. But I like to give you the scoop. That's what I like to do. Let's see. Holy Driver. That video is him hosting and essentially rifling in between the comic sets. No, there is an actual stand-up set of Redbar. Check out Stavi. I think he's only on Rumble. I think he got banned or he removed his stuff on YouTube because he had a lot of stuff in there that's not YouTube safe. But on Rumble, if you search at Stavi Official on Rumble, I think the one episode that is left up might be the one. And he plays an old lost clip of Redbar Mike David trying to do stand-up comedy and bombing. And he used to do these events where he would involve all the fans, have them all come out, and he'd come up on stage and try to be funny. Yeah. It's there. If you guys care enough to go look, then you can find it. Infected Mushroom says it's Rogan's fault stand-up is dying. That's interesting. That's an interesting point. Yeah, well, I guess Rogan was one of the first major guys to turn the comic scene and transition them into podcasting, but I don't know. So here's the thing. I said stand-up comedy is dying, but I do believe that comics transferring over to podcasting was the best move they could have ever made. And initially it was used as a tool to promote their stand-up gigs, and they still do that. But now the actual podcast, I think, in a lot of cases for these like low-rank comedians, is more lucrative than their stand-up shows. So, because this is different formats. Some people are funny in the conversational form, and then when you put them on stage and they're contrived and they try to tell jokes that are pre-written, they aren't as funny. Joey Diaz, example of that, by the way. He has some sets that I've laughed at, okay? But I find Joey Diaz funnier on a podcast sense. That said, I have not listened to his podcast in a very long time. But he was the precursor to me finding Redbar. Because I used to listen to the fucking, what was it, Church of What's Happening Now. And he'd wake up every morning sparking a fucking joint and blunt and getting super high. And I didn't think like, Joey Diaz, what a good guy. Like I said here, this whole thing of crimes doesn't like really make me go, now Mike isn't capable of doing anything or doing anything good. Just like, this is interesting to hear the history of what he's done, because he lies about this and I don't know why. Some people had the opinion that, oh, this is kind of badass that he was like a thief and stole from people. It's not like he robbed a bank though. He just robbed a bunch of comics who didn't really have the money to survive being robbed. I don't know. It's like robbing a homeless man on the side of the street. Is that really cool? I mean, it might be a funny viral video if you're not involved in it, but I would never do that and find it funny. Or if one of my friends did it, no. But yeah. So Joey Diaz, I know he's a piece of shit too. Joey Diaz has a long rap sheet of criminal history, kidnapping, but he's open about it. That's kind of cool. That's what I find cool. Where a guy's like, yeah, dog, I fucking kidnapped a guy. And when he was going at Redbar, he's like, I can call up that guy I fucking kidnapped and then have him take the kidnap I did on him out on you. You know, and the whole mob boss thing. And yeah, it's ridiculous, but that's entertainment is the core thing. It's not funny, doesn't matter. It's not the core principle. It's whether something has your attention and is entertaining. That's all that matters. You can fucking dance around and do whatever you want. Whatever you do to get that attention is valid, okay? Otherwise, it's all the same. You're all trying to do the same thing. So Joey Diaz, I used to listen to that, and then that's when I got caught up with, holy shit, why is Joey Diaz posting a video in response to this weird guy that I've never heard of, accusing him of being on Xanax? Like, Joey's been super open about his drug use. Why would he be insecure about it now when every episode of that podcast was, hey dog, you need fucking painkillers, you need oxy's perks, you need fucking mushrooms, you need Vicodins, I got it all, dog. It's in the room back there, locked in behind the door. Anything you want, I got it. You want a fucking gummy? The Star of Deaths. I used to love those segments where you would give his guests the Star of Death. It was like the edible gummy. And then there's all these funny clips of people who are either not weed smokers or they think they are because they have a tolerance of smoking weed, but they don't know that edibles work very differently and they turn into a different chemical when they're digested. There was like two episodes, I forget the woman's name, she passes out, she's in the middle of a conversation, she starts going like, I'm starting to see green. Yeah, Joey's you want me to fucking open the door, get some fresh air, you'll be fine. You want to lay down? Yeah, and he just puts her on the couch. She fucking has a panic attack. This is essentially what happens. The other guy was Pauly Shore, and they never aired that episode. And he told the whole story about Pauly Shore got too fucking high, and he got so scared he like ran out of the studio and started driving home. And then Joey Diaz expected to hear that Pauly Shore would be dead the next day because he was so fucking out of his mind. He had no clue how the guy escaped and drove himself home, but apparently he survived. So yeah, I used to love that stuff, watching them shoot the shit. I loved Joe Rogan's early stuff before Spotify. Ice House Chronicles was cool. And it's all these same guys. Ari Shaffir, Brian Redban, and all the comics. Similar situation, actually, to Redbar Comedy Club, where you had the comedians doing the podcast in the back, and then they would go perform on stage, and the two were connected. So as far as Joe Rogan ruining stand-up comedy, in a sense, because he did make it more interesting to watch comedians on podcasts than on stage. But they're still super fans of stand-up comedy. I don't know. Have any of you guys gone to stand-up comedy shows and then you feel like everyone else is laughing around you and then you feel like an asshole that you don't laugh and you're like, am I emotionless? Am I just a weird person? Like, why isn't this making me laugh? Like, the things that make me laugh are just absurdity is what makes me laugh, not jokes. Like, absurdity of situations make me laugh. And maybe I'll start introducing more examples of what that is and what I mean by that. And it's when the unexpected happens or where things are so ridiculous and so retarded that you're like just laughing at the absurdity of it. That's what I find funny.
But this guy won't stop stirring shit and lying. And if you believe it, fine. But this is the truth. And I couldn't shut up any longer. And that's
so we're about 20 minutes in. I'm going to run to 25 and get out of here.
I thought it was supposed to be fun. I mean, I see your face and I see Mike David, and I think, we should be having fun with both shows.
I'm trying to have fun. That's why I told Mike, I'm like, I'm not going to talk shit about you on my show.
Yeah.
Before I started, I'm like, that's not what my show's about.
Right.
And he was like, ha ha ha, go ahead and talk shit about me on your air quote podcast.
Yeah. Because what's his show about right now? It's about your show. He loves
doing that, by the way.
And he sent me, I guess, like word leaked online somewhere that there was going to be a tell-all episode.
Right.
And he sent me a message last night saying, can I be on the show? I think I deserve to be on the show. And you've been getting this on your Facebook today.
Yeah.
That I don't respect it unless Mike's on it. I swear to God, this small contingent of the unreasonable fans, they act like Fox News listeners where they just repeat the talking point of the day.
Yeah, it's like talking to a racist or a Republican. You're just like, I'm not going to change your mind. I don't give a shit. Just say whatever the fuck you want. Believe whatever you want.
This show is for the comedians who think about maybe working with him. And, and it's for the fans.
Yeah, this is more
for the reasonable fans.
Right. It's a heads up to anyone thinking about jumping into doing any sort of business with this asshole. And any fan who was ever wondering why any of us severed ties with him.
And
that's all that it is.
I've gotten a lot of supportive messages from fans, but they tend to do it privately.
Right, because they don't want to be bullied by some other dickhead who's a fan of Mike's who would blindly follow him.
Sure.
He had a good
My favorite are the people who are on this list. That
anyway, wait. So he sent me the email thing. He sent me an email asking to be on the show.
Right.
I didn't respond because that's insane.
Right.
Death Punch 23. Joey Diaz is why Trump needs to build the wall. Yeah. He's a Cuban. My first experience with Joey Diaz was when he did that Alex Jones interview with Joe Rogan. He was high on cocaine, clearly. That's a great clip if you want to go back and watch that one. I don't know. He's just a wild, fucked up guy on drugs, and he was always honest about it. So that's why I found it funny and awkward. He was always honest about his drug use. Redbar calls him out for drug use, and then he has this weird reaction of like, no, dog, I ain't taking Xanax. It's fucking alprazolam. Generic for Xanax. It's like 2.5. That old shit. Yeah, funny. It just makes no sense. Why? Why did he react to Redbar? Accusing of it. I don't know. Maybe it's because Mike, at first glance, comes across as this righteous figure, and then you feel like you're being judged by someone who is clean. And so this, I don't know, this kind of gives us a new perspective that no, he's not. He's not. And I know you guys know that if you've watched the show, but imagine being somebody or a comic or just a random person who stumbles across Mike. That is the first impression. You'll be like, oh, this guy must have all his shit together if he's calling out all these people on their bullshit and their lies and their crimes, right? He couldn't have possibly committed the most heinous crimes. One step away from murdering someone is just bankrupting them. Credit fraud and all that. Ruining some guy's business, all that shit. But yeah, it was just weird, the reaction. And I can understand maybe Joey felt like, oh no, I'm trying to clean up my image, because I think at that time he was trying to get movie roles and stuff. And so then the timing of it was bad. Where now, oh, there's this expose. And then you tune into it, right? And then you see Redbar in his like pretty nice studio, right? And you go, oh, this is more legitimized because of the studio. And that's why he did that, obviously. That's why those drums are never used. That's why he never touches most of the studio. It's just a flex to show you this is a real show. Look at all the money I spent on it. I am so powerful. Look at my stuff. It equates to power because I had to earn money to buy this and accumulate this stuff. And doesn't really equate to money. Does not really equate to power. It's the connections you have. Money helps, but it's who you know that really matters. Mike was spared. That's all I'll say. You were spared, Mike.
Don't ever want to see him again.
Right.
Or talk to him, or
you don't want to have any dealings with him whatsoever.
This.
Right. I know, and we talked about that, and a lot of people were talking about like, you're doing your own show. Is there going to be a lot of backlash?
By the way, I want to clarify on that because I don't think Mike remembered why he said that. Okay. The reason Joey Diaz said your wife is guilty of laughter is because when Mike was covering Joey Diaz on the Joe Rogan podcast, Joe Rogan was telling a story about some sexual story where he was like, yeah, I had this fucking broad fucking tongue my balls. He was essentially describing a rape. I think. Some weird thing where it was like a Me Too story he was telling openly, and Rogan was laughing at the story. And in fairness, the way the story was told was pretty humorous. But Mike, covering that clip, said Rogan is guilty of laughter because he laughed at Joey Diaz's story of essentially abusing a woman. Oh, he was like, yeah, I fucking walked into the green room of this young comic trying to make it in the business, and I just whipped my Cuban egg roll out and fucking made us suck my dick. And so, yeah, he said Rogan was guilty of laughter, and then so Joey Diaz said, remember what you said about Rogan? Your wife is guilty of laughter. That's where that comes from. But Mike in his head forgot, and he thinks that this is a line that Joey Diaz came out with on his own. That was a callback.
Glass from Redbar, are you going to talk about Redbar? And you were like, no, I'm just going to move on, which is the adult thing to do.
I tried to be an adult. Yeah. But anyway, okay, so I didn't respond, and then some fan, I was on Facebook, some guy, like, started emailing me, like, the fans think you should have Mike on the show. I was like, Mike will never be on my show, and I'm not going to do his show. Why would I do that?
Yeah.
And I guess he was going back directly to Mike, because a lot of fans have been doing that, because Mike doesn't have friends.
Right.
And he sent me another email, like, 10 minutes later. Can't even respond to me directly. Game on. Hope you're strong enough to deal with months of this back and forth that are about to come. I gave you plenty of opportunity to handle this like a man. Better hope Kyle can pay for all your legal needs, too. Enjoy your new podcast. My fans are going to love our new toy. Yeah. Okay, he's talking like a villain in a Bond movie.
Yeah, 2.5. 2.5 of Xanax is a lot. Infected Mushroom. Infected Mushroom says, who was the comedian from Chicago that died back then and then the whole scene fell apart? I'm starting to think he offed himself because he had to hang with these chads. Shit, I don't know. That I don't know. White Gripper, I hate Joey Diaz. I think Mersh is trying to act like Joey Diaz in every micro behavior. Possibly. Yeah, no, I haven't followed Joey in a long time. I think he was funnier when he was on cocaine. This is the truth. Now he's kind of suppressed himself with all these benzos and downers. I love the Joey Diaz. We would go on like coke rages. That was great. You get super angry and fucking scream. Let's see what else you got here. Yeah, guilty of laughter. Capone 609. I see a Mersh reference. First time here in this guy. First time here is this guy cool. I see a Mersh reference first time. Mersh is somebody that Jesse from Podawful covers. That's one of his guys. I brought up a clip of Mersh on a previous episode. It was actually an episode where Jesse from Podawful was a guest on my show. So you go back to one of the previous episodes, you'll see it. It'll show you Jesse PS guest appearance. Someone in the Redbar BBG group was bragging and assimilating people to group up with him and report Jesse's channel, and got Jesse's channel taken down, and was bragging about this guy Ryan. This guy Ryan was then going to the BBG looking for support. Help me, guys, help me. I trolled Jesse and got his channel taken down, and now he's attacking me as he should. Can you please help me? And the BBG was all like, no, you are now acting like a victim when you're the one who instigated this. So they kind of bullied him out. So credit to them. And Mike made a speech and scolded the whole BBG, saying, you know what? You guys need to learn to act right. This is all college style goofs, no real life shit. It's one step too far when you're private messaging the fools and all that stuff. So, but fairness more to Jules. Jules is Redbar, okay? If it wasn't for Jules, Redbar would not exist. Jules makes sure the important information gets into the conversation. She does not let Mike skate by it and ignore it. And as the reporting of channels is mentioned, Mike is looking all weird, body language, looking down at the ground like, yes, yeah, we know. No reporting of channels. Yeah, under his breath, very uncomfortable. Because he knows the channel that was taken out was Jesse's, and he cannot mention that guy's name. Oh, really, dude? If I have to hear that shit ever again, now that multiple creators are using it, God damn it. Fred Norris is the king of sound effects, okay? Go learn from him. Let's see. Yeah. Tight. No Mersh this guy? Capone 609. Yeah, so I know I covered Mersh because Mersh was one of the other culprits who claimed that he was going to start reporting channels, and that he said that Jesse's channel alluded to that he was going to try and take it down. And then Mersh was going into this whole story about how they were trolling him, claiming that he's grifting people with his cats, and that he's like, trust me, God, I'll show the fucking vet. I'll show the vet bill. And I was screaming at Mersh, basically at the TV, get my feelings out, Elon boarding school style. And I said, Mersh, the defense is the troll. Why are you're acting like you've got it all figured out and you're playing 40-70 chess with Podawful, but like he's getting you to actually pull the vet bills up to prove that you're not grifting. You've already lost. And I wasn't sure if I was supposed to give him the advice. So I backed off and I said, forget that. Forget that ever happened. I don't know if you did. But no, Mersh is not a guy I cover. That's a Jesse Podawful guy. And yeah, I agree. If someone's a public guy, he's on YouTube, it's all fair game. But no, if someone's so good at covering someone, let them do it. Unless you feel you could do a better job, I doubt it. That's one of the guys he's got on lock. So that's not a guy I would go into. I will watch his coverage of it. Let's see. Ron Ronson. It might be him flashing behind a lady that was doing comedy. She didn't see him. The crowd roared. She thought she was having the best set ever. Okay. Jonathan Contis, how about that Chelsea Handler? No. Like that. I don't like it. Infected Mushroom Trading, stage time for head. Yep. That was basically the story. He's like, yeah, these women want to get into the fucking business. Yeah. You want to make it in this town, you got to suck my Cuban egg roll. Or you're fucking out of here. You're done out of here. Let's see. I'm going to send you some nuggets on Discord. Oh, really? Oh, really? Oh, shit. Wait a minute. What is this? Let me look at this before I... Oh, it just opened it automatically. Great. Fuck, what is this? Okay, it's a public. It's a public message. Hold on. Is this Tripoli? What is he doing? Okay. Asher Novik, 37 minutes ago. Streamable. This video was posted in the Redbar subreddit an hour ago. Apparently, Tripoli showed up at a place he believes to be Mike's apartment and left a threatening message. I think this IG post is also a veiled threat. He's out of control. Wait, what is this? What is this? Damn, he looks like he's grinding his teeth. He's coked up on this shit. Let me see, what's the message say? Great checking out Tucson. Tried to say hi to an old friend. Unfortunately, we couldn't hook up. Next time, brother. Anyway, 2 more shows tonight at the Tucson. Grab your tickets at samtripoli.com. Yeah. I know he did that, but... Okay. I don't know what the fuck that is. Just gonna pretend. Let's see. Wait, 2 individuals. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm bleached. Yeah, coming with the receipts. Thank you. And maybe this can end the podcast. Okay, so guys, if you want to listen to the rest of that podcast, here is the name of it, okay? You can search us up. It's called James Fritz. James, James, space, Fritz. FRITZ. And then the name of the podcast is The Devil Road Scooter. I think the name of the podcast is You Could Be Dead, okay? And then it says You Could Be Dead Special, The Devil Road Scooter. Type that into Reddit type that into Google and it should come up on a Reddit post. I don't know if there's somewhere I can drop it. I would drop it for you guys, but yeah, if you want to listen to the rest of it, it's there. It's 2 hours. We made it 25 minutes into it. It gets deeper and deeper and goes on and on and on and on. Same as the Sam Hyde rabbit hole. I gave you guys the links there. Maybe at the end of the episode, I'll bring them back up. But here we go. 2 individuals accused of defaming another man on a podcast. Let's see. Here we go. This is February 1st, 2018. Sorry, I keep bumping the fucking mic like a retard. Chicago, a man is suing 2 others identified as Michael David and Cameron Malik, it's his webmaster, for alleged defamation. Kyle Lane filed a complaint on January 12th in Cook County Circuit Court. Oh, Cook County, otherwise known as Crook County. Not a very good place. That's where the fat felon came from who tried to fuck with my business. No coincidence, right? Alleged alleging his reputation was damaged after the defendants allegedly falsely stated on the Redbar radio podcast that he had abused women. The plaintiff seeks judgment against the defendants for damage of no less than $50,000, punitive damages of no less of $250,000, court costs, and any further relief this court grants. He is represented by Samuel S. Melee of Roth Melee in Crystal Lake. Roth Melee? Is that Jewish? I don't know. That's a weird one. Roth Melee? Okay, let me see what else he put in here. Okay. Download. Open. No, get back there. No, you motherfucker.
If the day is nice and I'm in one of my good moods, I will. I'll take my dogs out for a walk, and I do pick up, but I only pick up because every time I don't, I get caught.
Yeah.
Every time I don't. And these people really care. Well, I've trained my big dog. I've trained my big dog to jump in the bathtub and pee in the bathtub. I'm not kidding.
He does.
He really does.
Yes.
He pees in the bathtub. The little one, I came up with a system for him, but this could only work through winter with the snow on the porch. We have a porch here. And what I do in the morning is I crack the door, and he runs out, and he just pees in a snow pile on the porch.
Okay.
Right. Now I have neighbors under me, and I have the porch is made out of wood planks, so there are I'm sure their porch is covered in piss. But their yelling at me is still better than me hustling down 4 flights of stairs, getting all dressed up, and being out in the snow.
There's
you know what? And I always look at it like that. It's like
story.
people always go, "Why don't you take your dogs out?" I go, "Because it's a huge fucking pain in the ass." I go, "Why didn't you walk here instead of driving here? Why didn't you walk here instead of taking the train?" Because it's a huge fucking pain in the ass. Sure. So yeah, if my dog can pee in the goddamn bathtub, that's where he's peeing. Sorry that he doesn't get to frolic around. Does he poop in the bathtub too? No, he shits on the floor, but that's, you grab some Kleenex in the bathroom though. So it's all fine. So I pick up the shit and I throw it in the toilet. I flush it. I spray 2 shots of Fantastic and I wipe it, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's still faster than me putting on my boots and my scarf and my coat, going down 4 flights of stairs with 2 dogs on 2 leashes. They bark at everybody. I'm being pulled. I almost fall down the stairs. Then I got to come back up the stairs, get undressed. I'm sweating. I'm coughing.
Most misbehaved dogs I've ever met.
It's so much easier. Yeah. And people are always like, "Oh, the dogs need to walk." I go, then they could. You know what? They're still having a fun time. They're still having a fun life. They could be in a cage somewhere. They're goddamn dogs.
Which is where they're at right now.
It took for Jules to show up.
Just get rid of them.
That's why she's probably there.
Gave a shit about Gold Yeller
being
or any of
talked
these
about.
dogs in the 1950s. They didn't even have dog food. They just fed them table scraps.
Here's the thing about Old Yeller.
They did.
Here's the thing.
No
about
dog went to the vet. No dog got food.
No, I
You
know.
think they had pedigree in goddamn 1940?
Did they have to shoot?
No.
Did they have to shoot Old Yeller
Just
in the face?
release him into the wild is what I always thought in that movie.
Or slit his throat or something way more humane.
Yeah. Grab the dog by his 2 ears, pull his
Yeah,
head
this
back,
is
and
the
go,
best part.
"Son,
We get
watch."
it.
You'll never see an episode of this Lassie where they're filling him up with dog food in a bowl. Never.
No.
Here, Lassie, here's some old chicken that I'm not eating. There you go.
Get off my screen.
You know how much dog food is?
Disgusting
$22 every 2 weeks.
I have to buy the organic stuff for mine. It's
You're an
$50.
idiot. You're an idiot. They don't need any. They don't remember. They have no memory.
Not even willing to buy the good dog food. Yeah, the raw. We feed our dogs raw.
They have no memory.
Treat your dogs well.
They really don't. They don't have a memory like.
Yeah, they have a memory of a goldfish. We get it. We the whole bit part. But yeah, that whole other part is real. Ooh, what's this? Damn. It's annoying that it fucking goes to the screen.
Might as well get full drunk. We're on our way.
Yeah. Open in that browser, but then fucking go over there. Oh shit. What are you sending me, bro? Why is it so big? That's what she said. The fuck? Oh, okay, I see.
Might as well get full drunk. We're on our way. What about all the teen that I fucked? She could be.
Well, that's her name, the teen you fucked.
The teen.
I like how I fucked one person this year.
Sure.
Really, that's true.
Can we see that again? Fuck.
Might as well get full drunk.
Should be a sound drop. Which teen did Mike fuck? Why does it do that? What is it doing? Jesus Christ. Alright, you get the point. Mike fucks teens, apparently. But yeah. Okay, let's see. Let's see what else is on here. I think that about does it for Redbar. I mean, what else do you need to hear there? There's a few more things. Want to realize why Redbar's gay? I mean, not Redbar. Andrew Tate's gay? Any of you Andrew Tate fans out there? Gotta figure this out. I don't know, he sent me in a weird fucking player, and then it's all weird. Okay? Fuck you guys. This is like episode 6. Oh, that's why. Okay. By the way, so for any Andrew Tate fans, Andrew Tate is gay. Okay? That's the premise of this. Any of you OnlyFans managers out there and you think this type of stuff is cool? Mike is an Andrew Tate fan. Well, Andrew Tate is gay. And I'm saying that on record. And if you would like to debunk that, then he can explain this clip here.
It's like, you know what? F- it. I'm taking over. So what I did is I unplugged their keyboards and plugged a new one in from me behind the screen. So the chicks would sit there and hit a keyboard that wasn't plugged in. And me and my brother, and eventually some staff I trained, would do all the talking. The girls were just famoosers, just laughing and doing this, their titties out. And they were talking to ice cold hustlers. We were taking their money, all of it. You get a man with game and give him a female's body, a female avatar.
This guy is essentially explaining to you that during his whole webcam model thing, he would unplug the keyboards of the webcam women, and him and Tristan would like rig the keyboard to plug it into their computer to make them think that they're the ones typing. Which doesn't even make sense. How would the women not know they're typing? I guess he told the story wrong. But he basically is admitting that he was sexting with men and then just using the women as the visual element, and he's bragging about this. Yeah, we took over so many men's lives and life savings. I made so many men come. That's what he's saying. He's saying it right in front of your face.
I'm trying to teach these women, and the women kept fucking it up. So I said to him,
he
makes
like, you know what? Men come.
I'm taking over. So what I did is I unplugged their keyboards and plugged a new one in from me behind the screen. So the chicks would sit there and hit a keyboard that wasn't plugged in. And me and my brother, and eventually some staff I trained, would do all the talking. The girls were just famoosers, just laughing and doing this, their titties out. And they were talking to ice cold hustlers. We were taking their...
That's not the word for that. Ice cold hustlers. That's homosexuals.
Money, all of it. You get a man with game and give him a female's body, a female avatar. He will a guy up.
He wants to be a woman.
I had these guys selling.
He's fantasizing about if I was a woman in a woman's body with my brain, I would rule the world even more than I do now. Maybe I wouldn't be in prison. Which, by the way, there's a funny story with Andrew Tate. He got fucking snitched on by Adin Ross of all people.
And their houses, life savings, loans, all of it to me. Give me it all. You'd have a guy.
Feel bad or no?
No, to give a solitary fuck. I'm trying to teach these women, and the women kept fucking it up. So I said to them, it's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm taking over.
I'm gay. Okay. Here's it. So let's look at this funny Glippy. Why does it always... Yeah. It's weird. Sometimes it wants to open it on this screen. Okay. Bring it back here. So Adin Ross was live. This is funny. So Andrew Tate is supposed to be in Romania. He's not supposed to leave. Okay. And Adin Ross is live on the stupid Kick platform. And he basically rats on Andrew Tate that he was going to try and flee the fucking country. And it actually fucks him over because he ends up getting arrested or detained. Sorry. Let me see. Yep. He snitched. Hold on. I don't want to go to the whole fucking video. Okay.
Andrew had hit me up. He said, hey.
Wait.
I'm going to be leaving Romania soon and probably never coming back. If you want to come over and do a week of long streams and content before I leave, I think it'll be big.
Adin, did you just snitch on your boy?
Oh, come on now.
Andrew had hit me up. He said, hey, I'm going to be leaving Romania soon and probably never coming back. If you want to come over and do a week of long streams and content before I leave, I think it'll be big. And I'm sorry, he said it's basically now or never. So, and this is just, I told you guys this year, it's a week of content, right? And again, guys, it might be the last time we ever do this. So it's kind of like we got to take advantage of it now because, hey, bro, it's basically like, yeah, it's like that.
Okay.
Relationship
There's a few
between
things
these
that
two
aren't
is
really
very
clear.
gay.
Was this a text message with secret information?
Yes, it was, because literally like right after that, they were actually going to try and flee, but I don't know if they did this on purpose because like they wanted to go to the UK, and the end result of this was that they got extradited to the UK for something else. Blows my mind that these guys are able to still stay relevant. Like,
Andrew, are you ready to go back?
Like there is clear evidence that these guys have, Andrew specifically, both of them, Tristan, admitted to sleeping with underage women. Again, the theme of the show. Criminals. Criminals. Not righteous criminals. But then it was basically like a overnight sleeping party because he was live. He was out of there the next fucking morning. Easily. Here, let's see. Yeah, extradited to the UK.
Hours after their arrest, the Tate brothers, Tristan first, then Andrew, were taken into court for the extradition hearing. According to a lawyer who's planning civil action against them in the UK, there was a suspicion they were about to flee Romania. The brothers deny that.
We wrote to the... Well, there's a whole clip that goes back further where they're bragging on camera on their stupid show. What is it called? Emergency meeting, where him and his brother are talking about how during the Ukraine war that they had a guy they knew who had the ability to get people across enemy lines and through the border undetected. And so they have all these ways to escape. And if a guy is even talking about escaping, you know he is guilty. They must have seen something in the document. The court case is coming up, and they probably are starting to realize, shit, if we go through this, we're going to be stuck here in Romania in jail. So do we face the music and pray for the best, or we just get the fuck out of here? Like, they were trying to escape to Dubai before they even got arrested. Like, Andrew Tate was building... I remember he was building a mansion in Dubai, converted to Muslim, and the whole spiel, meeting with Saudis, a lot of shady shit going on there. And he was trying to get to Dubai, and they saw that he was doing this. They were watching him the whole time, and they caught him before he could do that. But he was very, very close to getting out of Romania, moving to Dubai, and having a whole new infrastructure to run his criminal organization from. But yeah, people always go, oh, he's just human trafficker, No, it's worse than that. It's on paper where, and on video of him admitting to not only defrauding women, stealing their taxes and defrauding them, saying, oh, I'm giving you this much, but you're really getting this much. And then also they had both admitted to being with underage women and laughing about it. So, I don't know. And it's that same thing, like, age of consent in this place is different than here. It's like you can't cross borders or state lines to have sex with girls underage just because the law's different there. Yeah. I don't know. This Adin Ross is getting himself into a lot of trouble. This Kick platform is like such a weird fucking thing. It's just totally funded by this illegal casino shit. I don't know if you guys saw this. This is a fucking loser. His name's Neon. I don't know. This is like stupid streamer that I can't stand. And they made this big spectacle of him getting banned because he was telling, this is funny, it kind of relates back to Jimmernam. Let's see. We're going to wrap this all up. It's all going to come back together as a nice package. Because the whole thing was like, oh, Kick is free for all. You could do whatever you want. And I think they did a PR stunt basically here showing him getting banned for basically talking to a minor and saying something. But he's already back. This morning, he was already let back on the site. So it was a suspension. It was not a ban. Let's see.
So it's been a little while since we last talked about IRL streamer Neon.
By the way, Jamari, very good commentary channel. I like Jamari. I like a lot
time
of
we
videos.
caught up with him, he was losing it all, from his deal with Kick to his OF girlfriend, and really
you got these like super young kids getting paid deals like $50 million deals and all this shit, and living the high life off this blood money.
Losing relevance by the day. I guess the bot farms over in India were no longer in service. Less and less of his clips have been going viral, and
yeah, so a whole thing happened where they were doing this thing celebrating him breaking 100,000 concurrent live viewers, and then during it, like Adin Ross is like celebrating, going, yeah, Neon, 800,000, yeah. And all of a sudden the number just drops to 60,000. They're like, wait, whoa, what's going on? And they're like, no, it's just a glitch. Refresh the page. Oh, it's back up to 103,000. And they're like, yeah, okay, yeah, just a glitch. And then bam, back down to 60,000. And it's like, he view botted his own fucking stream. The whole Kick platform is all view botted.
In general, it seems like the fall off has begun.
Loser. He just goes around. He's like this Jack Doherty type who just talks shit to people and has security around him, so he can be like, "You're a fucking
girlfriend
bitch."
Sam, you can really say the same.
And a big black eye will
She's been running around acting like a thought. It's like these two were each a cancerous virus that could only spread when their powers combined. I mean, let's be real, you can only go on making this type of scripted content for so long before the kids enter the next grade and move on to Paw Patrol. And recently it looks like Neon might really be in for a rude awakening, as yesterday he was banned from the Kick platform. And no guys, the title of this video is not clickbait. I'm here on Google, and when you try to go to Neon's Kick page, boom, this is what you get right now. Oops, something went wrong, a 404 error. And you guys already know that Kick is extremely lenient. I mean, there's people literally doing it all on their stream, if you know what I'm saying. So to get banned from there, you know you have to do some pretty heinous stuff. Like, you really gotta be sick in the head. And so this is apparently the clip that got Neon banned.
Again, another situation with an underage kid, and look what he says. This is going to be very familiar.
Blur half this
for you Jimmernam morbid viewers out there.
Screen, because you know I don't show kids on my channel, but Neon's on some sort of Omega call with this kid, and they pretty much just start spazzing out on each other.
By the way, this is the sickest part of all these weird streamers. They all go on this platform, Omegle, you know, these random cam platforms. They set you up with a random person. There's another one called Monkey, which is kind of weird because it's predominantly used by...
When he makes some disgusting threats towards him.
The f***? I tried to be nice to you, bro. The f*** up.
And the kid's face is censored out, obviously. This gentleman was knowledgeable and responsible enough to blur it out. Other people just kept the kid's face in there.
I'll beat the shit out of you and your fat girlfriend, bro. What the fuck? That fat I'll smack her in her face too, bitch.
Now, obviously, the kid...
I love the reaction. What the fuck? Like, yeah, this is how you talk. This is how you talk, and then your audience is 90% children. Of course, they're going to be speaking like you and trying to act like you. This is this guy's whole fucking bit. To just be completely heinous and say the most ridiculous shit and insult people. That's how he got famous. But now he's surprised the little kid is doing the same thing.
Should not be talking that way, but like I already told y'all, he doesn't appear to be older than like 10. And so obviously it's going to be the responsibility of the adult to handle this type of situation maturely, and Neon does the opposite.
And on God, I'm about to dox your entire family. What's your name? You're not doing shit. Shut the f*** up, suck my dick, bro. You a... What's your name? All I need is your first name and you're done. I don't care. I'm an internet warrior. What's your name? What's your first name? What's your first name? Tell me your first name. I'll give you Miami. I don't care. You're 10 years old. I'll give you please bleed. I swear to God. Shut the fuck up, bitch.
So yes, this man really threatened to dox and then physically violate some kid.
Told the little kid that he was gonna F him in the A. Same shit. Where is the righteousness now? We have to fight this battle. Righteous people stand up. This is a likeness of Jimmernam. Stand together and fight against those who abuse children. Like, where's the outrage for all this stuff? You guys know how many targets you can go at that actually have an effect on culture in the world, and we're spending time covering people that nobody cares about. Nobody knows who that guy is. Jimmernam. A very, very select few. Especially not a lot of the people here. Even though Redbar did see Jimmernam. Actually, thanks to me. You're welcome, Jimmernam. When Redbar played the Mark Harley doing the impression of Jimmernam, Mark Harley doing the impression of Redbar, we had a clip up on the screen of Jimmernam from years ago when he was covering Redbar and just talking shit about him. But he sucked at it because he had no clue who he was. So he was just like talking out of his ass. Fresh news 247. Yes, we know. Ross leaked the facts. Tate got done. Ethan Klein. Tate got done. Ethan Klein milked it. Brother, are you admitting to being an Ethan Klein H3 viewer? As an own? Well, he only said Andrew, not Andrew. Tate could be anyone. I don't know what you mean by that, but no. No. He said, come to Romania. Aiden Ross just happens to know another Andrew from Romania. He said, come to Romania and right now let's link up, let's do a podcast. It's now or never. Basically meaning I'm fucking out of here, so you better come here now and let's do content together before I flee the country. And yeah, he was detained for it. Let's see. Almost done here, guys, and then we're going to do a little Hipstar finale and then get out of here. Is Hipstar still live, by the way? I don't know. I have no clue what happened on that show. Apparently he was going to recap the whole events of this past week. And I will get into what that was very quickly. There's a lot of more stuff. Kanye West and Ty Dolla $ign did a interview with Big Boy, from Big Boy Radio. Very good, actually. I wish I had more time to cover that. Because he talked about like real deep industry stuff, about how they blackballed him. That after the moment with the Taylor Swift, Beyonce had the greatest album of all time. They said after that, they blackballed him, and all the songs, Niggas in Paris, All of the Lights, some of Kanye's best songs didn't go number one. And because of this whole shit, the industry is all controlled and they do that. He goes into about how they're selling his fucking Yeezy shoes now without him. Kind of leading into all of his conspiracy theories and stuff, and what he's saying, the little loopholes and stuff. So they found a loophole in the contract, Adidas, I'm talking about, to sell Kanye shoes without paying him now. And goddamn, have they been on a roll releasing these fucking things. Hold on, let me find it. I have it here just to prove that it's actually happening. So this all popped up. This is called like the Adidas Confirmed app. And these are all not approved. So Kanye doesn't make any money from any of this shit. And these are all Yeezys. They're just pumping them out. Look at that. And they're not paying him any money for any of this shit. They figured out a way to do it. These ones look pretty sweet, actually. Damn. Some Yeezy 500s. These foam runners are stupid. I don't know how people wear these things. It looks like fucking duck shoes. There's a 350 MX Rocks. Those are old ass ones. And they got these more runners. The slides. Hell yeah, the slides. If you guys don't have a pair of these fucking slides, you gotta get it. You gotta get this fucking Yeezy slide. It's the most comfortable slide ever. Wear them indoors if you want, or outdoors. Have two pairs, one for in and out. I love these things. They're perfect. But yeah, all this shit they're selling now, he gets nothing from it. It's pretty fucked up. And he talks about that, how they basically stole his fucking brand from him. Straight out. They call them Yeezys still. But he don't make any money from them. Pretty crazy. He says a lot more. It's a long interview. It's like the Kanye version of the Cat Williams Club Shay Shay interview. So go check that out. Big Boy interview with Kanye West and Ty Dolla $ign. He talks about some conspiratorial shit too, like Cat Williams did. It's good, but I don't have time to get to it. I have to get off of here in a short period of time. I did have timestamps though, but whatever. There's always next time. I wanted to cover this Twitch ASMR shit. Jake Paul doing he's doing mushrooms and toad and like all these drugs now because he met Mike Tyson. I can pull that up. I have a quick timestamp of that.
Oh, I'm waiting for this to go through. Oh, do most fighters, especially I have to ask this for you because you're fighting Mike Tyson. He hits really hard. I don't want you to get CTE in this, bro. Like, is CT real?
Yeah. You do have to be very, very careful. But there's like things that you can do to just like be safe around it, like red light beds and oxygen machines.
Okay,
and
good.
Stuff like that. And ketones brings more glucose to the brain, and mushrooms actually creates neurogenesis, and so does ayahuasca and toad. So like I actively do these things to protect my brain.
Have you ever had
this fucking dude? Now he meets Mike Tyson one time, and now he's doing the toad. Have you guys heard about the toad? It's like the poison frog. You lick the toad, and then you go into another dimension. So he's fighting Mike Tyson now, an old ass Mike Tyson, which actually I watched some of the footage of Mike Tyson fighting. He looks really good still for his fucking age, but he's like 60 something. Let me just double check that. Mike Tyson age. He's 57 years old. He's almost 60, but he still looks good. So yeah, it's just funny. Jake Paul's like, yeah, CTE. I get rid of CTE by taking toad and mushrooms and ayahuasca, which kind of ties into that weird ritual shit he's doing. I'm telling you, that guy that does the stretches and fucking bends Jake Paul over and twists him in a pretzel and puts his cock inside of him. He's also doing these rich, bright breathing rituals, which are basically Illuminati rituals to help him win boxing matches. So,
had an incident where CTE might have grown in your brain?
I don't think that's how it works though. It's like well, what happens is the parts of your brain like slowly die off, and it's due to a lack of oxygen, but also the trauma and dehydration. So you have to like
just drink water.
Yeah, but also electrolytes. Sodium is the big one, and so and then oxygen after sparring always. But I haven't felt any different. Like I've only gotten smarter, more knowledgeable, sharper. So I'm feeling good, and I wouldn't take a risk just because I don't need to box.
Yeah.
So if I did start to feel like unhealthy, and I've never been knocked out in sparring.
Damn.
I've never even been knocked down. So I think that's another crazy. Big part of it is like my neck. No pause is is I could take punches, which that's something that I don't know, genetics or something like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it right here, bro. Yo, chat. Let me just put a disclaimer. If you guys are boxing, sparring, etc., just drink a lot of water, hydrate, be safe.
Oh yeah, thanks for the good advice, Adin. Let me speed run this. Here's one of my idols I want to kill. Okay, here we go. Let's look for this. This guy is one of my idols, and I want to tell you a story about him. Really quick, speed run this. Do you guys ever remember the McAfee antivirus? Do you guys ever remember using that? So, John McAfee, multi-billionaire. He was super rich guy. He invented the virus. He invented the antivirus. And this is his video that I want to bring up. So I'm not biased. I'll kill my own idols. John McAfee has saved me from lots of viruses, okay? But this is what he's in. Here's his crime.
Sit on this hammock.
So he liked, he had a special fetish. And let me explain this to you. At his mansion, he had a place where he had a hammock installed, and these women are going to explain to you what the purpose of this hammock was. A lot of people didn't know this. John McAfee, who owned McAfee Antivirus. Okay, let's watch. Well, there you go. So, and if you guys don't believe me, here is John McAfee's bedroom. Let me get rid of all this. Here it is. John McAfee's bedroom right here. And what do you know? What's above the bed? A hammock. Hammock. So yeah, the women would lay in this hammock here, and he'd cut a hole at the bottom, and then he'd lay on the bed here, and then they would just defecate through the hole into his mouth. And yeah, I was devastated, and I never followed the man ever again. Very disgusting stuff. So there you go. That was my idol, and turns out he likes to eat shit. Okay? So I'm being fair. I'm not biased. Okay. One last thing, and then we're going to get out of here. I just want to show you some of this... What's been going on twitch.tv, because we talked about Kick, so let's be fair and show people what's going on Kick. I mean on Twitch. This is the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. Just go to Twitch TV at any time, right? And then you're gonna come up here.
Front page of Twitch.
I don't really know about.
Front page of Twitch, and then you're gonna go to the ASMR category. Let me see. ASMR. Whoa, I don't know what the fuck. Okay. Yeah, here. Here we go. Actually, wait. This one. Oh, I got on mute. This is twitch.tv now. Enjoy. This is the whole website now. Is this giving you guys shivers? I kind of like when she does that part where it's like... This shit never works for me. I never did anything. Yeah, Dirk says, fun place to troll. Yeah, I actually have a video, because I accidentally clicked on it one night. So an accident. And then I was in the chat room, and I started typing stuff like Redbar's watching, because there's some channels where they'll say your trigger words. And I kept getting this girl to say stuff like, Redbar's watching, Lossless, pee pee poo poo. And she would read anything. She was so desperate. I don't know if I have it though. But you get the idea. Like, this is the whole fucking website now. You guys are fucking degenerates. Because this shit won't exist unless you guys are tuning in. I know some of you in the audience are... excuse me, you're guilty. I'm not. Alright, get an actual fucking talent there, girl, okay? Get the fuck out of my face. Jesus Christ. Yeah. It's the world we live in. So these girls, there's so many of them, they buy these ear contraptions. And then some of them got like elaborate ones where there's like 7 different ears and it's like an octopus and they're all like... And people, these guys pay them money. They don't even have to get naked. They're making bank off that shit. Why do we even waste our time? It's unfair. It is. It is unfair. And then men on Twitch get banned for the most silliest things. Women can have their buttholes out. Basically, nothing happens to them. It really is. And I've noticed this trend just in general. Woman can go on and just fucking do nothing and just sit there, half-ass it, and you put more effort in, and yeah. But actually, I don't want to complain, because tonight you guys were very great. You showed up. A great showing tonight, and I'm very happy, and I appreciate everybody who showed up to this stream. Eat the poo-poo, Max Barnes. Yeah, that's sick. I can't imagine getting into like scat play. You want a woman. It's one thing, okay, come on, stand over my head and shit on my face. That's disgusting. But the whole elaborate sit in a hammock. It needs to be a hammock where there's a hole cut and it's just your butthole in the hole, and then the poo falls through into my mouth. Like, that's you're going way too far. What's the difference between them just doing it directly on your face? Why do they have to be in a hammock? Is it because it's like shielding himself from the shame? He doesn't actually see the person. It's just the butthole. And maybe the women around him are like all these Hispanic women, and he's like, I can imagine it's someone else. Or maybe he's like, I can imagine it's a man. But then they see women walking in, so they'll never accuse me of being a gay man or like shit in my mouth from other gay men. That's my thoughts. Okay. What was the last thing? I had a clip of Steel Toe talking to himself. That I thought was funny, but who cares? Steel Toe. Everyone talks about Steel Toe. He literally was he was reading his chat, right? And he started reading his own messages. And he got so excited, and he was like, Nate Murphy, thank you for the $1. And then he's like, Steel Toe Morning. Oh, I am reading my own messages, and then, well, no, he goes, Steel Toe Morning Show, debit. And he stops, and then April like goes, were you just reading your own messages? And it was like the most embarrassing moment ever. But yeah, enough of Steel Toe. Who cares? Ash Willie, people are so broken. Yeah, you get to such a level of fame and fortune that I think the Epsteins of the world and the Harvey Weinsteins, you get so rich and you've experienced everything in life that the only way to get an actual thrill now is to do things that are so taboo and disgusting, and then just it escalates. Just shitting on my face isn't enough. Now I need to create this elaborate kink, and then they start getting into legal stuff, and oof. Anything else? I can show you here's some things like I want you guys to watch. Let me see. Go to studio mode. Clip. Make sure I have the right thing pulled up. Yeah. So here's the interview that I was watching. Hold on. I don't know why the chat is showing there. Uh-oh. I see. So this is the interview. It's Big Boy TV and Kanye West.
Up, and then it's like when Carnival's #1 on Spotify, #1 on Apple, #1 on everything, something else went #1 on Billboard, And it took a while for that, but now we're #1 on everything. So
yeah, you can't deny it, bro. How do you not beat your brain up? And no one could deny that was happening. Like not showing real numbers and the power. Just limiting. Turn it down. Turn that boy down. That boy that went on stage and said Beyonce had the best video, turn that down. All the Lights is like number 28. All the Lights. It's a Runaway. Niggas in Paris was not a #1 record. What do you think when people say that can't happen? What can't happen? Oh no, that's too big. That's a conspiracy. Like people, like what you're saying right now. There's probably somebody that think, nah, that can't happen, but it can happen.
For sure, it can happen.
And it does happen. And it did happen.
Okay, and this is the other. Just watch this whole thing. Hour and 20 minutes. Great interview. Here's just one last one, 3507, about the industry. Just want to play this real quick. And then we're gonna get out of here,
We've
folks.
sat down. But when they knew I was doing this, you do get people that'll say, man, you sure you want to do that? I'm like, man, I've known this dude for, 2 decades? Easy?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And why wouldn't I do it? Why wouldn't
I can tell you why, because niggas is like, we're gonna take your money, we're gonna block you, we're gonna do this, we're gonna take your life. Like a lot of, like, my life has been through, I wake up every day just surprised to be alive. Like, because of how many threats I got from political to, Twitter commentary to all that, just like going through, just to be like, boom, I'm exposed because the first step to cleaning up something is like people be like, man, there's some smell. It just smell like that. It's like, have you checked under that couch? Nobody want to lift up that couch. And if you go to lift up the couch, the whole industry is like, stay away from that couch.
Yeah.
Do not. If you lift up that couch, we're going to call you anti-Semitic. If you lift up that couch.
Kif Tonnage says, Big Boy has missing link energy. Yeah, there's something about the shape of that guy's cranium. Says something.
We're going to call you anti-Semitic. If you say, this is literally, you can read it. And, this way y'all can do y'all edits, whatever y'all want to do. If you say that the lawyer is talking to the manager, is talking to the label.
This part.
And all you are is a cow, like the meat packagers should come in and out. All you are is a supermodel showing up at the club and then bringing the celebrities around, like this the new models around. And when they get older, they bring in a new batch. That's who the artists are. There's a joke. That's why I'd be like surprised I'm still alive. There's an industry joke. There's 2 jokes. One joke that a friend of mine, I'm not gonna put on blast just because it's just about the joke more than it's about the name. He says, he is a manager. He said, you know what I hate about artists? They take 80% of my money.
Wow.
And the other joke they had is, what would we do if artists figured out their own distribution? And the punchline is, we'd have to kill them. So I'll be surprised that I'm still alive every day.
How did you not so-called disappear? Like, because that's a hell of a fight.
Because I'm God. And anyone that disagree, I'm the God of me, and you can't tell me who I am. I can't tell y'all. I could tell y'all. It's y'all job to listen. I'm the God of me. I don't know if I'm in heaven already and shit. I got number one.
Kanye's God.
Paul, I might be on like a 4th dimension version of the lifestyle. I don't know. Like I said, I must have died in this accident. It must be heaven. I feel like, there's people, tech guys and shit like Shervin or Elon. Elon always says, whatever would be the funniest outcome is what should happen. He's just thinking like, what is the most insane version of something? And that's the version that should happen. My boy Shervin said, God or alien or universal, whatever happens, it feels like victory favors the brave. Like the people that lean into it, that give, because it's all like ears. It just threats at the end of the day. It's like, why should you fear? It's another thing I don't like in Christianity, the fear of God. If God is love, why should you fear him?
Amen. All right, you guys go check that out. Yay, Kanye West and Ty Dolla $ign exclusive interview 2024. The channel's called The Motion Room, and it's with Big Boy, cranial guy. And yep, you're a commodity. Yeah, see, people call Kanye crazy, and okay, yeah, he made anti-Semitic comments. He just does what you tell him not to do. You tell him not to wear the MAGA hat, he wears the MAGA hat. You tell him that he's anti-black, he wears a shirt that says White Lives Matter. You tell him he can't be saying anything about the Jews. He's going to say the most heinous things about the Jews and push it to the limit. That's what he does. he doesn't truly believe this shit. He surrounded himself with guys like Nick Fuentes and Milo Yiannopoulos, which, by the way, there's a whole situation with that going on where there's this girl named Yes Jules, which was one of Kanye's right-hand women, kind of, in his circle. Groupies, I guess. And she had a falling out with him recently. And there was like a Clubhouse interview about all that stuff. That's interesting. So, yeah, go check that shit out if you want. But I gotta go to sleep, guys. I see people here saying you're not gonna cover Hipstar. I just have one thing for Hipstar, and it's just a look at himself, okay? So let's take a look at that, and then we're gonna get out of here. So here we go. Hipstar, I don't know what you said tonight. I'm sure you went over a whole thing with me and your Discord and talking, and you're the greatest guy ever, and you never go real life. Actually, before I start this, I want to say something. So what ended up happening was this whole week, a lot of shit happened. Lots of drama, lots of attention seeking, okay? People trying to obfuscate that that's not the case. People saying, well, Hipstar is going to say it to himself, essentially. And it's funny because when I interacted with Hipstar, it was on a Jings and Things stream. So by the way, go check out Jings and Things. He made a video, like a diss track against me. My first diss track, which was something he made up based on a story someone else told who doesn't like me and wants to suck my balls and sniff my nuts and follow everything I do. Because he has no ability to be a draw himself. He's not creative, he sucks. Jings is cool. Jings made something out of his shit, basically. And I wish he would have led with that video that he made. So go check out Jings and Things. Go subscribe to him. Go watch the video. It's called Mexico. It's probably not going to make sense to you, but just go give it a view. Go give him a subscription, thumbs up, all that stuff. Jings and Things on YouTube. So I just want to make this point clear. I was on, I thought, Soup Party, but because I just had clicked a link and it looked like Soup Party, but it turned out it was Jings and Things stream. Me and him argued before this. Very long story. Making it short, though, Hipstar jumps onto that stream, and he's just talking shit. And it's funny because Hipstar can go to me and go, your show sucks, and say it seriously and be an asshole. But then when I say something to him like, dude, you've been doing this for 4 years, and you still got no views. Like, last week I did a show. If you guys were wondering why there was no show last week, it was on Friday, very, very late at night, I did a music show where I was just playing music, fucking around. It was not an episode. It was meant to just hang out and have a good time and play music and not care about the copyright stuff. It was always meant to be private and deleted after. And he needs the content so bad. And he's like, you need the numbers and everything is everything to you. And it's like, really, Hipstar? Because you're the one putting me in all your thumbnails, making all your episodes about me. You need the content here to play on your show. Desperately, you wanted my attention. I didn't reach out to you ever at all. You popped into a Discord one time tagging me and going, oh, I took you to Red Lobster. It was whole bits and everything. So it's like, no, you wanted my attention, okay? You think I'm stupid? I see through all your shit. I see through all of it. Very predictable. And I was nice. I promoted you on my second and third episode. Actually, on the first one, when Soup Party sent in the donation. 3 in a row. When nobody even knows who you are except for a few people in here. The majority of the people that watch this, no clue, okay? So there's your attention that you don't care about so much. Okay, but then you have your guys and you're going, you're afraid of Hipstar to get me to talk about it, to get your attention. So you're a liar. And here's another thing he said. He said that I posed a moral question to him. I said, how would you react if somebody had said something about your girlfriend, significant other, whoever she is, wasn't a threat. It was posing a moral question of how would you react to that? Would you be happy about it? It's not a joke. Someone made a joke. So Robin, my girlfriend, someone makes a joke about her and goofs. She doesn't care. She didn't even care about this. But if someone can joke about her and it's totally fine. It's when it's someone who has a personal vendetta that is spreading actual defamation and making up shit and then trying to drive a wedge and actual mean-spirited with it, okay? The stuff between me and Hipstar was lighthearted, and then some fucking faggot showed up and then had to get involved because he follows me everywhere I go, needs to do everything I do because he wants the attention, okay? There's a lot of people out there that don't have the balls to do what I'm doing, get on screen and put yourself out there and take all this ridicule. And so they go behind the scenes and they go, hey, I'm going to affect things with my... It's the only connection they get, the only gratification they get, that they can actually elicit something from someone else. But it's not creating. You're not creating. You're just being a gay faggot. And so his friend just took the things he was saying and he made actual content out of it, okay? And then we made content on that panel that night. So you guys can go find that too. Jings and things, okay? But in that, Hipstar came on there and he's like, me simply posing the moral question of what would you think if your family was brought into it? Whether it's fair game or not, how would you react? Would you be happy? Not from your friends joking about it, a total stranger, okay? And getting very personal and making up lies. How would you react? And he goes, this is what you do. This is what you deal in. You deal in real life and threatening people. And it's like, I've never doxed anybody. I've never went real life with anything. What are you talking about? He's like, you're Podawful. You're like Podawful. This is the game you play. Insulting Podawful, by the way. And then I was like, why did he say Podawful? Turns out, Hipstar used to be a Podawful fan. And I've been told Hipstar, his ex-girlfriend, not only did he dox her, but he revenge porned his own ex-girlfriend and posted like asshole pictures on his stream. Asshole pictures of his ex-girlfriend. Revenge porn and doxing. And you're saying that's the game I play? Take a look in the mirror, Hipstar. You got quite a past. By the way, the old what we call it seasons, old Hipstar seasons, he's wearing these things. It's just so funny, all the hypocrisy. With that said, that's the game you play. And maybe that's why you were projecting. Because it ain't me. That's not how I play. But with that said, we're going to end the show here. And I have something for you, Hipstar. So take a look at this. This is for you to reminisce. And thank you for everybody who came tonight. Great showing tonight. And I'm happy you guys all showed up. And I hopefully will be back next week on Friday, I think. But I will schedule it as soon as possible, as soon as I know when I get my schedule. Okay? So here we go. Hipstar, this is for you. Enjoy.
Predictable into this.
Very
Again,
typical,
this guy
very
fears the hell out of
Okay,
me.
it's nothing
He's willing
original.
to do
You
anything
should
for
roll your
a
eyes
bit.
at both videos
What an
that
unoriginal.
I'm about to show you.
Fake
Filters,
You're a diminishing product.
Fake,
Nobody cares.
Fake
You haven't done anything original in the past couple years. So stop,
little boy.
hanging on. We're
to
too
the
old
horses.
for this shit. The horses you've been beating off.
Of course, he tries
for
to
years.
spin around as if
it's not going anywhere.
As if
you gotta wrap it up, man.
Oh, it's funny.
It's funny. I'm going to
recreate
turn it
yourself,
into comedy.
repackage yourself.
Come up with something
for
new for him to write
Just
his
let it
shows
go.
to dedicate it the way he
Lossless,
does.
man,
You're going to get
And again, he's going to do
half hour of the show. We're
4-hour
going to start
episode
out with
on
energy.
the same topic.
Of course, with energy.
He tries to bring
get
up
everybody
different
into
issues,
it. You know, I
and,
mean,
and
you
different clips.
kill the crowd.
But it all revolves
around
the same subject
I'm
at
gonna
hand
need,
per
a
episode.
little bit of energy. I'm going to need
You go on for like
a little bit of energy. I'm going to need a little bit of energy. energy. It's funny. It's funny. I'm going to turn it into a little bit of energy for him to write his shows, dedicate hours, and you're like mumbling and stuff. Or energy. What do you need? Can't you agree?
Again, you're in your 30s. What now? What now? So you did this. You made this public. You chose to put this out there. What now with your life? Are you gonna look back on this and still be proud of it?
I don't think so. I highly doubt it. I'm pretty sure you're going to be in your 40s, but holy shit, I was a spaz. Why did I make those decisions? Get so excited. All the attention we're getting. Oh my god, somebody made a reference that I made earlier on my show in my chat. Oh, they must really like me. Oh, somebody gave me $5. Oh, I'm making it big time. It all gets to your head. You all get carried away.
There you go. Hey, Hipstar. Good job. Good job. Energy. Energy. We know what that energy is all about. And with that said, I wish you good luck, my friend. And till next time, we'll be back, guys. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in to Lossless. Let me make sure the volume's up here again. For fuck's sake.
We're going to play a little games. We're going to play a little games. Who did it better? Of the corny, predictable bits, okay? Listen to this. Very typical, this guy fears the hell out of me. Okay, it's nothing He's willing original. To do anything you roll your eyes at both videos that I'm about to show you. Fake filters, you're a diminishing product. Nobody cares. Fake effects. You haven't done anything original, Jack Turr, in the past couple years. So stop, little boy. Hanging on. We're to the horses. The horses you've been beating off. Of course, he tries to years. Spin around as if it's not going anywhere. As if you gotta wrap it up, man. Oh, it's funny. It's funny. I'm going to turn it into comedy. Repackage yourself. Come up with something new for him to write his shows to dedicate it the way he does. Man, you're going to this is the first half hour of the show. We're going to start out with energy. The same topic. Of course, with energy, he tries to bring up everybody different issues, you know, and different clips. Kill the crowd, but it all revolves around the same subject at hand. Per episode, a little bit of energy. I'm going to need go on for like a little bit of energy I'm going to need a little bit of energy. Energy. It's funny. It's funny. I'm going to turn it into I'm going to need a little bit of energy for him. To write his shows, dedicate hours, and you're like mumbling and stuff. Or energy. What do you need? Can't you agree?
Again, you're in your 30s. What now? What now? So you did this. You made this public. You chose to put this out there. What now with your life? Are you gonna look back on this and still be proud of it?
I don't think so. I highly doubt it. I'm pretty sure you're going to be in your 40s, but holy shit, I was a spaz. Why did I make those decisions? Get so excited. All the attention we're getting. Oh my god, somebody made a reference that I made earlier on my show in my chat. Oh, they must really like me. Oh, somebody gave me $5.